is an alphabet attached to symbols. Okay. The ancient Egyptians did not technically have an alphabet.
So if you're saying they didn't have an alphabet, why are you pushing back against what I'm saying?
But we call the monoliterals a pseudo alphabet.
And if it's called pseudo alphabet, then why you keep trying to oppose what I'm saying when you said this months ago? See what I'm saying? See, this is why you got to be careful what you say. Because when you're messing with somebody like me, I'm going to pull it up. See, you can't get that garbage bags with me and get away with it. I ain't even going at the brother, you know, on no contentious level. I'm saying we can't play like this. Let's look up the word pseudo. I ain't even put pseudo code up here. They put pseudo code up here. You know, so that's basically what they got going on, though. He just said it's a pseudo alphabet. What is pseudo, people? Not genuine, spurious, or a sham. So this means that what they're calling the Egyptian alphabet, if it's a pseudo alphabet, that means it's bogus. That means it's a sham. That means it's phony. It's an imitation. It's artificial. It's a mock. Look at this. Quasi, fake, fiend, pretended, false, fox, spurious, counterfeit, fraudulent, deceptive, misleading, assumed, contrived, affected, insincere, pretend, put on, fake it. Huh, people? I didn't say this. This is what he said. We're going to play it one more time. Listen to what he said. He used some of the definition they use. Here it go, right here.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, could you elaborate on the alphabet that was used and how is an alphabet attached to symbols? Okay. The ancient Egyptians did not technically have an alphabet, but we call the monoliterals a pseudo alphabet.
Okay. So why are you arguing with me? We just showed you pseudo, in other words, a fake alphabet, a sham alphabet. Come on, a bogus alphabet. You see what I'm saying? He admitted it out of his own mouth. He ain't the only one did it. Reggie did it one time too. You understand? Like, I can't make this stuff up, people. You know, let me look at my chat. Let me look at my chat. So you see, basically, what y'all will admit it, it's a pseudo or a fake alphabet, right? You know, so now I gave him a sneak preview of my book that I'm writing, JJ. Watch this. There go my brother, iSonic. He was in there. He witnessed this. And iSonic knew I was going to bring the smoke. But you see, he didn't want me to get up there and go into this stuff. You was right there, bro. But this man said that that's a pseudo alphabet. Now, I'm going to go into my drawing. I'm going to go into my book that I'm putting together. I'm going to go into it real quick. You know, a page of it anyway. Because I got a source in here that I want to show y'all. And y'all need this it right here. I don't think this the one right here.
I apologize to me. I stepped off if you was talking to me.
Oh no, you good. You didn't miss nothing. You finna see it right now. Now I'm going into my source. This is some of my book that I'm writing, JJ. I gave him a sneak preview. You know, I went into it to show him because I got sources in here. So I'm showing it to him. Watch this. Okay, there you go. This is the book I'm working on. Everybody asking me, Kamisha, when you gonna get done with it? I'm putting in work because I'm trying to make sure this thing is done right. So I'm putting it together. You know, I'm giving y'all a sneak preview, right? And I'm finna show y'all a source. I'm finna show y'all a mean source. And it's actually coming from this area right here. Because I actually got it from a French website. And this is actually an attestation from the website. And look at what I said here. This is in my book that I'm putting together. Yes, sir. It says pseudo hieroglyph phonetics. Now, this is coming from the website. I'm going to show you the website in a minute. It said below, it says it's a list. Oh, come on, people. I'm trying to make sure this thing stay charged. Got a little short in my little charging cord.
Okay.
I don't want
If
it to
you
shut
gotta come
off.
back and do a part 2,
Just
whatever.
give me a second.
More to come.
Pay attention to that because that thing shut off right in the midst of me building. Now it's charging now. That's what I was saying then. There we go. That's good. Okay. Okay. Come on now. Get your charge on. Okay. Let's see. Hold up. Okay. I think that's good there. But anyway, so it says below is the list of uniliterals most commonly used by Egyptians of ancient Egyptian. It says, Egypt. It says ancient Egyptian is a Semitic script. This means that there were no vowels. A, I, and W are semi-vowels or semi-consonants. Each unit therefore represents a consonant. The grouping of these hieroglyphs can be considered as a pseudo-alphabet. They're saying this now. This is a French website that they got here. I'm just excerpting it in my book. It says it is a modern classification based on phonetics. Each sign is transcribed by the sound to which it corresponds. This alphabet was not really used in ancient Kemet, Egypt. Huh? It was not used in ancient Kemet. And that's what I said to him. He admitted it. But now I get up there with him, and he still wanted to defend this Ptolemaic, methodology. And that's why I got to get it. It say this alphabet was not really used in ancient Kemet. These ain't my words. This is an excerpt that I took, and I'm gonna show you the website I got it from. It was only found during the Ptolemaic era to transcribe the name of foreign kings. Goodness gracious. It says also, note that the order in which the hieroglyphs are displayed below is not the order conventionally adopted by Egyptologists. Egyptologists classify these hieroglyphs according to this order of transliteration. Then he gives the chart below. And I got all of this from a particular site, and it was in French. That's what I like about going in these other languages. This is a chart that they have, right? Now I'm going to go to, because this is the source, published in April 20th, 2007, updated June 11, 2019 by Nico. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to click this link and try to go there for you real quick. Oh, there, it took me. I don't want to do nothing. This is where I got it from. Same thing. Now, this is a French website now. Champollion people. Same thing. It's just going to read what I just read. Just said, below is a list of the most commonly used uniliterals by ancient Egyptians. Ancient Egyptian is a Semitic script. Let me blow that up. I want to make sure y'all see this. Okay. It says, Semitic script, which means there were no vowels. A, I, and W are semivowels. And it says a semi-consonant. Each uniliteral, therefore, represents a consonant. Listen to what it says. The grouping of these hieroglyphs can be considered a pseudo-alphabet. I agree. Brother Wajal would agree a couple of months ago, but now he's saying something different. Everything I say is consistent with itself. You ain't gonna never hear me saying something other than what I said. This is what I've been saying from the whole aspect. But even before I knew there was a pseudo-alphabet, or referred to, I was calling it pseudo. It is a modern classification based on phonetics. Each sign is transcribed by the sound which it corresponds. This alphabet was not really used in ancient Egypt. It is only found under the Ptolemaic era to transcribe the names of foreign kings. See that right there? Kill them right there, JJ. Right here in this French source, and I actually had to translate it into English. I had to hit it. But it said it wasn't really used in ancient Egypt. It's only found on the Ptolemaic era. So that right there tell you exactly, where this stuff come from. And it really don't mean that. You know, but I ain't gonna go into all that. So this is the same list that I have in my book. You know what I mean?
Alphabet chart.
This is it right here. You know, so I got it in there. Notice I clicked the link and it went right to it. So I'm gonna give you some of what I'm getting at, so y'all can see how hard I'm coming. It says why the above chart created by Egyptologists is not proper for Medu Neter decipherment. The Rosetta Stone belongs to a much later period in ancient Kemet's history, specifically the Ptolemaic period, the pre-dynastic Remet Kemet. The people who lived thousands of years earlier had no knowledge of the Rosetta Stone or the writing systems it contains. The pre-dynastic period in Kemet predates the establishment of the pharaonic dynasties, and it extends from around 5500 BC, y'all heard me saying it earlier, to approximately 3100 BCE. During this time, ancient Kemet did not use hieroglyphic as writing in the form seen on the Rosetta Stone. Instead, they likely used simpler forms of symbolic communication, perhaps including early forms of pictorial representations. The development of Medu Neter hieroglyphic inscription occurred during the later periods of ancient Medu Neter, including the Old Kingdom, 2686, 2181 BC, the Middle Kingdom, circa 255, 1650 BCE, the New Kingdom, again, and also circa 1550 to 1070 BCE. The Rosetta Stone dating to 196 BCE comes from the Ptolemaic period. When Medu Neter was ruled, it says, by the Ptolemaic dynasty, the descendants of Alexander the Great's general Ptolemy. I'm going to give y'all a little bit more, and I ain't going to show you everything. But it says the pre-dynastic Remet Kemet did not, and that's the people of Kemet. I'm calling them by what they is. I ain't saying black people and all that stuff. The Remet Kemet is what I'm referring to them as. That's who they are, the people of Kemet. They did not have an alphabet or formalized writing system akin to later scripts, such as Medu Neter and hieroglyphs. During the pre-dynastic period, which extended from 5500 BC to the approximate 3100 BCE, the ancient Kemet used more rudimentary forms of symbolic communication. The development of the alphabet as we know it is a later cultural linguistic innovation that emerged in different parts of the world. The earliest known alphabetic script is generally attributed to the Sinai Peninsula and dates back to the Middle Bronze Age, around about 2000 BCE. The Kemet hieroglyphs include those on the famous Rosetta Stone, represent different and a more complex system compared to alphabetical scripts. The pre-dynastic Remet is likely use basic symbols, simple drawings, and pictorial representations to communicate, but the absence of a formalized writing system, let alone an alphabet, is a characteristic feature of this early period in ancient Kemetic history. Writing systems, especially those involving alphabets, emerged as civilizations evolved, and a need for more efficient and versatile methods of communication arose. And that leads me to right here, and y'all done seen this before. Signs and symbols are for conscious mind and men and women of understanding. That's a Moorish idiom. I said, do not confuse cursive hieroglyphs with hieratic. They are not the same. So I showed hieratic right here. I showed cursive hieroglyphs, totally different from each other. You know, then I showed cursive hieroglyphs and glyphs beside each other. This is the same thing here, but these are not to be confused with this. You can look and see the difference between them. You know, so hieratic is the real alphabet, period. This is the script. These are signs and symbols, and these are based upon metaphysics. Oh, I'm going to give you this right here since I'm there. Pseudo-Medu Neter alphabet chart created by transcribing hieroglyphs, hieratic into hieroglyphs.
I mean, just cutting them deep.
You see
my hieroglyphic and hieratic writing compared. Some of you seen me display this before, but we're going to go into it again.
Another excerpt from a book.
Hieroglyphic writing, the following example of hieroglyphic writing is taken from the Prissy Papyrus, upon which at a period about BC 2600, two texts containing moral precepts, which were composed about 1,000 years earlier were written. So this is called the Book of Tahotep. You know, this is what it's coming from.
One I showed you, I transliterated from
in the hieratic language that we have in our message. So this is what they're showing how they transcribed it. You know, these letters, the original alphabet in the pictures. It says, now if we transcribe these into hieroglyphs, we attain the following. This is exactly what they did under the Champollion method. So they wanted to say this number 1 is the reed leaf, right? So they took the hieratic letter and then say, okay, this looked like that, so we're going to compare that to that. This is the number 2. And they want to say that this is the same as the mouth. Then they said this number 3 here is supposed to be the same as the hair of the rabbit, right? Anything that they can find that they think look like, you know, what they can compare to this, they tried to make it a letter. Then they said also number 4, this is supposed to be the wavy surface of the water right here. Come on, man. The more we look at these letters, the further we see that they go away from looking anything like the hieratic letters that's up here. Look at this. Number 5, they compare right here again to the same thing. So it's going to be, you know, this is number 5. They want to say that's 5 too, you know, but that's really number 4. So 4 and 5 is supposed to be the same thing according to them. This Champollion list, by the way. So it says number 6. So they want to compare this portion here to number 6. Then they want to say number 7 represents the owl. You know, they want to say that number 8 here represents the boat of a door. And they went on, family. And this is how they transcribe the hieratic into the pictures. But when you look up the book of Tahotep, Tahotep is written in hieratic. It's not written in pictures. The book of Tahotep is written in the hieratic language. So if you saying that hieratic is the simple form of writing, if it's so simple, then why don't y'all know it? Because you should know the most simplistic, you know, if it's more simplistic in the quickest form of doing it. So why
that's
don't
what they call hieratic.
So-called self-proclaimed chematologists?
They call hieratic shorthand. So if it's shorthand and it's easy to write, then why y'all don't know it then? That's what I want to know.
No hieratic then, as you know the so-called pictorials. So then I go into showing, you know what Champollion did. He mapped, you know, the Coptic alphabet, which he called in Greek. This is his pseudo hieroglyphic alphabet chart. He transcribed from the Demotic alphabet. So he went up here and he compared these letters to the Demotic. Then he compared the letters to the picture. So if these letters represent the Demotic language and you're trying to compare these same pictures, you know, that you compared to the hieratic, and we know hieratic is not Demotic. Hieratic and Demotic is 2 different scripts.
Right.
So how you gonna say they script mean the same thing the pictures say too? And then come up later and then use Greek and say it mean the same thing.
Come on.
So in other words, you say Demotic got to be the same language as Greek, and hieratic got to be the same language as Demotic. And anybody that know better know that Demotic is Demotic, Greek is Greek, hieratic is hieratic. You feel me? So I'm gonna close this out right here. You know, I'm gonna show y'all one more thing, just for a bonus. I'm going too far into this. I'm showing y'all the draft that Champollion used in his pseudo hieroglyphic alphabetical chart based on the Coptic alphabet again. And there it is right there. A-E-I-O-U, he got the vowels all up in here. He was trying to compare all these different pictures, which a lot of them don't even have nothing to do with certain other letters, even according to his own rendition. Look at this. He got these as the letter B. You know, I thought the B represented just the leg symbol. Where all these other signs come in representing B? You know, how all these signs right here represent the letter K? You see what I'm saying? He was reaching, people. He was reaching. Look at the letter T and D. He's showing you all these supposed to be groupings of the letter T. Which one the T? He chose this hand right here. He'll say this is T, yeah, D-I. You see what I'm saying? Here's the L. They'll say this is the mouth, the open mouth. They'll say that this lion, which is this is supposed to be, is R as well, R and L. Then all these letters as well. This man created his own means of doing it. And I showed you how to do it. I showed you how he did this. You see what I'm saying? Now look, this is an excerpt. With Coptic Egyptian language underwent a major cultural change, abandoning its characteristic hieroglyphic script as well as its various cursive writing forms. With the adoption of predominantly Greek script, Egyptians also changed the direction of their writing. Egyptian is usually read from right to left.
Right.
That's the hieratic. With monumental inscriptions vary the direction. So they say you can read it from all these different directions. Influenced by Greek, the Egyptian graphic system changed from non-alphabetic to alphabetic. The same source saying they was non-alphabetic. Then they became alphabetic.
You see how much source material I done dropped in here, bro?
Yeah, leave alone.
Saying the same thing I've been saying.
Well, you've been saying it for years, though. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, but see, I ain't telling what I was putting in my book though.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah.
Look at it. Why this?
It's the Greek song, because you're using the Greek alphabet. So those who think that they're dealing with metal netta, no, you're dealing with Greek alphabet disguised as metal netta. Is what you're dealing with, people. See, I'm telling
all
you,
they did is map
this
the
work
pictures
right
to
here,
what they created.
I'm gonna shake the conscious community. And this ain't in all my sources. Put very simplistically, the early Egyptian writing system evolved pictographic signs functioning as phonograms and semograms. And phonograms could represent 1 or 2, 3 consonantal phonemes, like I was showing y'all before. Semi-vocalic phonemes are sometimes indicated and vowels almost never. Semograms, known to Egyptologists as determinatives, were classified as a word, like I told y'all earlier, according to a Semitic sphere. It says, and for many basic terms, these could function on their own. Huh? Man, yeah. I'm gonna hit you with one more. I'm gonna hit y'all with one more. Greek language influence in Egypt. The beginning of Greek influence in Egypt can be traced to the first regular contacts between Greeks and Egyptians. In the 26th dynasty, 7th to 6th century BCE, well before Alexander the Great took control of Egypt in 332 BC, it says, under Alexander, however, Greek became the language of the administration and so began to play an increasingly major role in Egyptian life. Many bilingual documents in Greek Demotic were produced in the Ptolemaic period, and even the occasional trilingual document, including hieroglyphs. That's that Rosetta Stone, for example, from the beginning of the 2nd century BC. All that's Ptolemaic, people. So when I say he was using the Ptolemaic methodology, I know what I'm talking about. He talking about that's not true. That's just not true. But you're gonna have to prove it now, brother. Because the same way y'all came at Walter Williams, I'm coming at y'all.
They ain't gonna do it.
And I'm gonna give my book to y'all.
Ain't hearing you. We're gonna stay loud over here. We're gonna make sure y'all hear us.
A so-called Greek language in disguise. During the Ptolemaic period in ancient Kemet, which lasted from 305 BCE to 30 BCE, the ruling dynasty was of Greek origin, the Ptolemaic dynasty. This period marked a significant cultural and didactic blending of Greek and Medu Neter hieroglyphic elements. However, it is important to note that the primary inscribed language for official and administrative purposes during the Ptolemaic period was Greek rather than hieroglyphs. Greek was the administrative and cultural language of the ruling elite, and it was used in official documents, inscriptions, and other inscribed records. The Greek language had become influential in various aspects of Medu Neter hieroglyphs society, and many members of the ruling class, including Ptolemaic kings and queens, spoke Greek. While Greek was the dominant language for administrative and official purposes, the traditional Medu Neter hieroglyphs, Medu Neter script continued to be used for religious and monumental inscriptions. The Ptolemaic rulers were aware of the significance of Medu Neter hieroglyphs, and religions and cultural traditions often depicted themselves in traditional Medu Neter hieroglyphs, artistic style, and participated in religious ceremonies. In summary, during the Ptolemaic period, Greek was the language of the administration and official communication, but the traditional Medu Neter hieroglyphs and hieroglyphs persisted, especially in the religious and cultural context. The interaction between Greek and Medu Neter hieroglyphs cultures during this period is evident in various aspects of art, architecture, and language. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I ain't even playing. You know, I got a lot going on here. You know, like I said, you know, it's much more.
Basically, that's the gist of everything that I was putting in there about the language itself. Now, watch what the Europeans say in this video. That's what I want y'all to see. Watch this.
And I'm talking about how the sugar coating was put on this conversation. Look at this here. I ain't got to get no money off this here. So, you know, if they don't want to monetize this here, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Hello and welcome to the Hieroglyph episode of Half as Interesting, where I head to a museum in Britain to talk to people from France about a language from Egypt to plug a game from Canada. Now, if it was 350 years ago and I showed you this, it would mean nothing. Because 350 years ago, people really had no idea what Egyptian hieroglyphs meant. Nowadays, you still probably don't know what this means, unless you're one of these three people or me. So I'll spend the next 3 minutes going on tangent so I can turn this into a video. What you have to remember about Egypt is that it's really, really old. Cleopatra, for example, lived closer to the moon landings than to the building of the Great Pyramids. And no, I definitely did not steal that fact from Reddit. We're not 100% sure where hieroglyphs came from, but by the Ptolemaic period, about 300 to 1 BC, the written language had basically split into two: hieroglyphic and demotic. Hieroglyphs had existed for centuries, but at this point, they were mostly used by the elites and rulers as a form of official writing. Demotic was a much simpler writing system used by the common people, so most of the population couldn't even understand hieroglyphs. At the same time, Alexander the Great had conquered Egypt, so it was under Greek rule.
That's a good point right there. Most of the people couldn't even understand hieroglyphs in the population. So how you gonna come along later and act like you done deciphered it?
Meaning that Greek was the official language. Now to the French.
Now y'all see that going right back to my book, right?
Right.
Like I told you, Greek was the language. All they did is dress Greek up in pictures, you know, and then present it back to you in a regurgitated form and tell you it was ancient Kemetic language. It really ain't even Greek. It's really both of these languages are dead. How can you use it to resurrect a language that was dead?
Or more specifically, this Frenchman, Napoleon Bonaparte. In 1798, Napoleon went to Egypt, headed to Rosetta, found this rock, and decided it was his. But then the British came, found it, decided it was theirs, and took it. It was then brought to the British Museum in London, put on display, and then 200 years later, a bunch of game journalists and YouTubers had dinner around it. The significance of the stone was that it had the same text in the three different writing systems of Egypt: hieroglyphic, demotic, and Greek. Hieroglyphic and demonic text could not be understood, but Greek had been spoken and written continuously for thousands of years, meaning
I keep asking the question, what a hieratic at?
that this bottom section could be easily translated. And now for another Frenchman, Jean-François Champollion. Champollion started to try to translate the Rosetta Stone in 1808, but he wasn't making much progress because in the 5th century, a guy named Horapollo wrote a book about hieroglyphs, which was basically...
That's the guy right there, Horapollo. So he had to get Horapollo out the way. Horapollo was a real Egyptian priest, family. One of the last ones of them. He said that the language was metaphysical. It was symbolic. He wasn't dealing with no alphabet charts and alphabet system. This was before Champollion. So Champollion had to overthrow Horapollo methodology in order to get here and off. Even though he agreed and said Horapollo was right and correct in some of the stuff he put out there. So how could he be correct and he didn't have an alphabet chart then? Ask yourself that question.
Completely wrong, but since he was old and dead, everyone assumed he was right. The main thing that book said was that hieroglyphs were ideographic, as in each symbol represented an idea.
And that's right. That was the right way. See, the Champollion clique, they want to tell you that Horapollo wasn't right, but if Horapollo was said to be correct by Champollion and he was using this methodology, then how can you say you're wrong?
Rather than a spoken sound. Mathematical signs, punctuation marks, and even emojis, for example, are ideographic characters since they mean the same thing in every language and they don't correlate phonetically to spoken sounds.
Like, share,
Most of
subscribe,
modern language, however, is the sounds that make up the spoken words. As it turns out, the hieroglyphic system is a
didn't mean hit the camera.
mix of both. The real breakthrough for Champollion came by looking at names. Ptolemy, the king during the Rosetta Stone's inscription, was Greek, so he didn't have an Egyptian name. Therefore, in hieroglyphic text, his name was approximated phonetically. So, since we know what his name sounds like in Greek, by comparing his Greek name and hieroglyphic name, Champollion was able to figure out which sounds the phonetic characters correlated to. That unlocked a huge part of the writing. And then, from there, researchers were able to figure out much of the rest through context. So what's the Rosetta Stone?
So you see that right there? They mapped Greek alphabet.
Now look at that.
Egyptian pictures.
Mix the pictures up with the
That's the Ptolemaic Champollion methodology. But you can't say that the ancient Egyptians demonstrated that way. That's
right.
I'm
right. That's
I'm
a whole
saying
different
methodology, that Champollion methodology to them Ptolemaic glyphs. But stop lying and saying the ancient ancestors demonstrated like this when you just admitted that this is a pseudo alphabet. It was made up. And my sources said the same thing. And I got more than one source that say that.
About? Well, it's ancient tax paperwork, and yet it still manages to be more readable than a W-4 form. But now, the reveal. This hieroglyphic text translates to half as interesting, but not literally. Despite our relative understanding of the language, there aren't exact translations of every English word. And now for yet another Frenchman. But this one's alive. This means half, this means as, but the problem was interesting. That's Dominique Farou, professor of Egyptology at the Louvre. What he did to translate interesting was phonetically spell out Seba, the Egyptian word for learning. Then, since Seba is also the name of a star, he put the symbol for papyrus, which means idea, to clarify he's not talking about the star. Then he slipped this symbol in here because it's the logo of Assassin's Creed. Funny. And then it is protecting. Or it will protect you. And then a man. Because there is a man here. That's right, Dominique, I am a man. But what we're not sure about is exactly how ancient Egyptian sounds. Obviously, we have no recordings, so how we say today is just an educated guess. We know roughly how the phonetic part sounds, but everything else is made up, so speaking today would sound like nonsense to an ancient Egyptian.
Exactly. It's made up. God almighty, no.
You see it.
Ptolemaic hieroglyphs, family.
An ancient Egyptian would be really astonished by my accent and many things, including the idea of a video game having real educational value, or probably the idea of a video game at all.
They said the ancient Egyptians wouldn't know what they was talking about. So if that's the case, then how you gonna say you out here teaching, to the people that's proper according to the ancient Egyptians? You teaching proper according to Ptolemaic, system of decipherment than what they say, but you cannot say that that's according to what the ancient Egyptians said because they didn't have that methodology. It didn't even exist then. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand.
I guess. Assassin's Creed Origins comes out the day after this video goes out, and it's a pretty awesome game because they've completely and accurately recreated the entirety of Ptolemaic Egypt so that you can learn things. I had a conversation with their dev team, and it's clear to me how much pride they take in historical accuracy. They're even releasing a special game mode called Discovery Tour, which essentially turns the game into an interactive museum in ancient Egypt. So, if you like history and seeming smart and video games and learning things and me, make sure to check out the game with the link in the description.
You gotta go to Kemet.
So now y'all see why I said what I said. When I said the sugar content in this dish is deadly for your mental health. Because you got the same people that's gonna keep on believing that nonsense. And they're gonna go through with what was said because somebody told them that. But listen to this. Here go a British Egyptologist. And on this particular one, hold up before I go into it, I said, look at all that sugar she put in that British tea. You know what I mean? Watch this. Listen to what she said. Watch it. Bro, I don't be playing, bro.
So why don't you call it an Egyptian alphabet?
Because it's not an alphabet.
There you go. She started off the rip. The question, are all the hieroglyphs alphabetic? He said, why don't you call it an alphabet? She say, Because it ain't an alphabet. Let's do it again. This from the British Museum now. The Irish
British Museum.
Why don't you call it alphabet?
Because it's not an alphabet. It has about 26 alphabetic signs. That means one letter is one sound. It functions, those 26 signs function as alphabetic signs, but it has hundreds and hundreds of other signs that are also part of the writing system. I prefer to speak of one-letter signs because we also have two-letter signs and three-letter signs, and we have signs that are entire words, and we have signs that you don't read, that we call classifiers. They're silent signs, and they enhance the meaning of the signs that precede. So it's essentially, it's not an alphabetic script. And so even though those 26 signs function like alphabetic signs, we can't call the script. The script is a hybrid system of all these signs working together in
a hybrid system. You can't call it alphabet.
In some kind of way.
So everybody that's dealing with Kemet people don't agree, you know, that these particular measures,
right,
you know, are hieroglyphic alphabet.
That's the British Museum.
Yep.
And that ain't even dealing with what I done.
That was the British Museum.
Said it's yep. She said it was a hybrid script. You see what I'm saying? Terrible. Now watch this book right here. These are the last little measures I got right here. Watch these books. There's some books I bought recently on signs and symbols, JJ. I bought them like a couple of months ago. Watch this. Watch the excerpts out of this. Watch
the entire screen. Here we go again. You know, like I done showed y'all people. This book right here is called The Signs and Symbols of the World. I got this book right here, and I took these excerpts out of it. So look at what they say about, you know, language. They said a glyph. A glyph is a hieroglyphic symbol, character, pictograph. A glyph is typically a vector line drawing that shows a picture that has a meaning. It says other than what it directly represents. These glyphs, for example, are actually lines and triangles, but here they are representing different metaphysical states by combining shapes into symbols that have been adopted and recognized by the group, and most groups that utilize them most. You know, so they said glyphs are frequently abstract. It says, and their meaning must be determined by research or by gaining access to the knowledge of the group that determined them. It says alchemy, it says religion and business make frequent use of glyphs. Whole books have been written on symbols of alchemy alone. Current research indicates that there, it says, are 5,000 known glyphs for alchemy. And so they were talking about these little triangles here, you know, dealing with transfuse, protect, learn, express, transcend, understand. All these supposed to be alchemic symbols. So this is just expounding on those signs. So now they have a measure talking about ideograms. Remember, they call hieroglyphs ideograms, right? Ideograms are ideograph. An ideogram, also called an ideograph, is a written character symbolizing the idea of a thing without indicating the sounds used to say it. Examples include numerals and Chinese character. The word ideograph comes from the Greek idea and graph, which is an instrument used for writing. Numerals are likely the most commonly used ideograms in the world, numbers. Dozens of languages utilize the Arabic number system of 0 to 3, so to speak, even if the actual word for each numeral is different in German, French, Japanese. This sign has no words. It says through its use of symbols, it tells that no swimwear is allowed on the premises. The symbol shown above is not dependent on individual understanding of a particular language, unlike a sign that reads no swimwear allowed in English. So individuals can still understand it no matter which language they speak. The swimmer Now, swimwear is easily recognized icon, especially in the setting where such a tie is common. You know what I mean? So, it's just going into different measures they talk about in signals, as ideographs, that they use. This is one of the most important, pictograms, because that's what they also refer to these days.
Right.
You see, it says a pictogram. A pictograph is a pictorial symbol for a word or phrase. Pictograms comprise some of the earliest forms of written language. It says Egyptian hieroglyphics have been found that date back to 3000 BCE. Note that the Egyptian writings are referred to as hieroglyphics. These writings are glyphs in that each symbol represents a word or concept that's depicted by the glyph, not a letter, a word. It say the words glyph and pictogram are sometimes used interchangeably. The two white symbols in this sample to the left represent Seshet, the left, the goddess of writing and measurement, and Horus on the right, the god of the sky. In many pictographic languages, symbols can be combined to make different words or ideas. In this example from Japanese calligraphy, right here, Happy New Year in Japanese, it says the two symbols for beginning, gan, and morning tan combine to form the Japanese word Happy New Year. Although glyphs are pictograms, but pictograms are not necessarily glyphs. The I Ching and Chinese Book of Divination associated with Confucianism uses 8 trigrams, or characters made up of 3 lines, and 64 hexagrams, characters made up of 6 lines. Below shows a set of 8 hexagrams, which are glyphs and pictograms at the same time, right? And this is where they tried to mix some of this stuff in, dealing with Chinese things.
Yeah.
And it goes into talking about ideographs and logograms, and this is the portion where they was mentioning
They're mixing and matching
to be ideographic. Linguists prefer to use the term logographic when discussing languages such as Chinese and Egyptian, because the symbols often represent whole words or concepts as ideographs, but they are part of an actual written language. It says for this purposes of this book, we call them ideographic, and it goes on. We'll explore this concept further in chapter 9. Language ideograms are ubiquitous. A global economy wouldn't be possible without the barrier-free ways of communication. So, they show a whole bunch of different measures up here, and this is what we call ancient rock art. Transliterate that, some of you old Egyptologists, since you think you know so much. These are the same things that became later hieroglyphics. But what is the meaning of this?
Hey, what did the alphabet say?
What the meaning of this?
That's the
You
old.
can see the proto, pictorials, but what's the meaning of it? Metaphysically, we can go into it. Now, watch this. Listen to what they say about Egyptian hieroglyphics.
This for the killer right here, JJ.
Many early civilizations utilized symbols that stood in for an entire alphabet. Most of us are familiar with Egyptian hieroglyphics. Those symbols stood for words and concepts such as immortality, rather than representing individual letters.
That's it.
Hieroglyphics also stood for consonants. It says, and was separated by groups of single and double and triple consonants. Over the centuries, the glyphs were assigned to particular letters in the English alphabet. And we know the English alphabet didn't exist 3,500 years ago. Right. Over the centuries, we're going to report it again. The glyphs were assigned to particular letters. I'm going to blow this up. In the English alphabet. But this was not a feature of the hieroglyphics originally. So again, here go another source that agree with what I just said. The ancient letter, as demonstrated by the ancestors, is not the same as that which is demonstrated in this modern time based upon Ptolemaic hieroglyphs that were extracted from the Rosetta Stone by Champollion. Period. That's all I'm trying to get you to see.
They don't want
But y'all
to
trying to defend this fallacy, you know, to the death. Y'all gonna go to the death defending this fallacy.
This
You see
Eurocentric
what I'm
bullshit.
saying? Now watch this. And this is actually coming from a document. I'm gonna show it to you in a minute, so you know the source. It said the later stages of the language have been without the same influence on Ptolemaic scribes, and therefore we find the old grammatical structure and vocabulary influenced with late Egyptian through texts in completely late Egyptian idiom are not frequent, though texts in completely late Egyptian idiom not frequent. It says Ptolemaic is therefore a hybrid. Do I need to look up what the word hybrid means for our people? It said mainly Old and Middle Egyptian, but influenced in part by late Egyptian, not completely either, the one or the other. Among particular phenomena, we may mention that in general, the distinction between what they are called sedimeth, and sedemneth has largely ceased to have any really real significance, and that there is an enormous extension in the use of pseudo verbal construction. Y'all already seen the word pseudo mean fake. It means sham. It means bogus. So I'm telling you that Ptolemaic hieroglyphs
pseudo-verbal construction.
Pseudo-verbal construction. Both are an infinitive of the old perfected, which
I'm telling you, like I done killed
all common person.
This is overkill, bro. Overkill.
I got a couple of documents up here.
Now you finna see what I'm telling you about what they come up with, all the one they added in.
Come from this document.
The different
and look
signs.
at this. Same thing Champollion was doing. Now here, they were known to say this represent the letter M. Now notice they told me Ptolemaic they're trying to compare the Ptolemaic to this normal sign that your boy would call the letter M. So look at all these. Same thing Champollion was doing. Ain't no way in the world all these things can mean the same thing, because this represents nut. They would say in certain aspects.
I'm gonna stop right here. I know you've been on enough panel with comedic. You done been on with enough comedic people, right? Check it. You done been on enough of the panels, right, to know that they say this is M. Well, why are you comparing this to a letter that's supposed to be the letter A then? Make it make sense. You see what I'm saying? So they really was searching right there, JJ. Watch this.
If this is the letter M,
watch this. Watch this.
Oh, they say this is he.
Yeah, what's that right there?
Okay, well, hold up. Let me make sure this thing here don't try to time out on me again. Come on.
Hey, Smash, you got some explaining to do, man. You spent all hours talking about this Kemet, this being black. Come on, man.
That's basically a draft. They got all the Ptolemaic signs.
Ain't nobody never showed y'all this and went into this like this.
Look at all the Ptolemaic signs, the one they added.
Ain't nobody never did this.
7,000 of them.
When I say Ptolemaic hieroglyphs, we know they come from the Ptolemaic period. Look at all them.
Man, you gotta be ashamed. Yeah, man. This over with, bro. This done. Don't even
you
gotta have a conversation though.
Then you try to come up with an
alphabet. Don't you dare get in front of us.
Ancient.
You're
gonna miss it. Because some of these symbols didn't exist during ancient Kemet. So how you gonna make sense out of a Kemetic text, an ancient Kemet alphabet? Wasn't no chart, man. Then you take these pictures and mix them in the shuffle, because one letter changed the whole meaning of the word. If I would have taken the letter
T, up like this, man.
Potato and put a T on there, it's gonna be potato. And you're gonna be like, what in the world is potato? Ain't no meaning behind it. If I would have taken the word, bat, and we know what a bat is, and I put an L on the front and call it lat, that changed the whole definition. So it's the same thing. If you want to say that you mix in 7,000 symbols with 700 symbols, you gonna get some confusion going on up
there. Right. So it's 700 original symbols, and then it added 7,000.
You can't tell which brains is which. by looking at them.
You heard what I told him? I said, if you take salt and sugar and mix them together,
Right.
you know what I mean? You're going to taste bittersweet, but you ain't going to be able to tell which grain's different from the other.
Feel me? Like, we can't make it plainer than that right there. Look at all these Ptolemaic signs that didn't exist during the time of ancient. Remember, Ptolemaic refers to the period of 332 BC, from Alexander the Greek all the way up to 196. So when you're looking on the Rosetta Stone, a lot of the glyphs that they have are in the Ptolemaic expression, this which didn't exist during the time of ancient Kemet. You know, I can't stress that, you know, anymore, so to speak, than I already have. You know, and so going back to that last one, he was speaking on Elephantine. You know, he was speaking on that. Okay, let me go over here to it because I had.
That's pretty much it. You know, when it comes to that portion of the video, right?
Looking at the pictorials here in our tool that we use,
it's like overkill. And I showed what y'all was saying it was pseudo again, just to rub it in a little bit more and throw some salt in the wound. You know what I mean? But like, come on, bro, we can't get nowhere beyond that. You know, in the last portion, I went into showing them the aspect on the hieratic and what Hebrew influence.
The other video said the same thing. All the sources in my book that I was writing, the website said the same thing. When I showed you the French website, and they were talking, all of them saying the same thing, that this is a pseudo or fake or artificial alphabet. So what's so hard it is? Why can't you just say, all right, brother, we get it? And then go and try to do the right work and looking at the hieratic. That's all I'm trying to get y'all to do. But now y'all done got lazy trying to use these pictures, and you don't want to go into the hieratic text. You know, I can actually go through there and read ligatures and pick words out. They jump right out at me now because I've been working with them. So, you know, again, this is from Sheldon Lee Gosselin's book. You know, she was speaking on the same thing, family. You know, this is definitely bogus that they've been demonstrating with y'all. So where's that other thing I was getting ready to show y'all? It's actually in the Facebook.
I already went over this, so I ain't got to go over that. But
pamphlet. But they use this like we use chalkboards in the modern time. You know, so they use this to practice writing on. You see what I'm saying? That's what they did. So, you know, it's talking about the newly deciphered Egyptian symbols, 3,400 year limestone ostracon. You know, that's what it's called, an ostracon, from Luxor's tomb of Senneferu. It says appears.
So they found that hieratic that I showed y'all in the beginning, JJ. They found it in Luxor tomb that I was talking about earlier. You know what I mean? So that being said, what I'm gonna do, right? Because I'm done with that little presentation, but I want y'all to hear this video that AI did. I was seeing you working with that AI earlier. It was funny when you was asking the question about David and all that. Yeah, that AI submit, but look at what the AI say about watch what it say about what I presented, JJ. I just put in there, like, you know, what do you have to say about Commission's methodology and so forth and so on the YouTube?
Right.
You know, speaking to myself in third party, I prompted it, right? Listen to what it says.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy, bro. I say, man, them people done lost their mind. Listen now. I ain't put this in there. This is exactly what they said. I just asked them the question what I told you. Watch this.
Of pharaohs and pyramids, of hieroglyphs and hidden tombs. But how did they communicate? What did their voices sound like? How can we understand their stories? The answers are shrouded in mystery. Deciphering ancient Egyptian languages is like assembling a cosmic jigsaw puzzle. We have pieces, but their arrangement remains hotly debated. Some scholars believe Jean-Francois Champollion cracked the code in the 19th century. Others argue his alphabet is flawed. The truth, as always, is likely more complex. Enter the Commission adept Hierophant. This enigmatic figure challenges conventional Egyptology. He argues Champollion's alphabet is overly simplistic, fails to grasp the nuances of ancient Egyptian languages. The Hierophant emphasizes the importance of context. He claims hieroglyphs were not just phonetic, they were symbolic, imbued with layers of meaning. To truly understand them, we must delve into the Egyptian worldview. Central to the Hierophant's argument is hieratic. This cursive script was used by the Egyptian priesthood. The Hierophant points to ancient papyri as evidence. These texts, written in hieratic, predate Champollion's Rosetta Stone. They offer a glimpse into a language far richer and more complex than previously understood. The Hierophant argues that hieratic holds the key to unlocking the true secrets of ancient Egyptian communication. But the mystery deepens. The Hierophant introduces us to Metu Neter. This ancient system went beyond mere language. It wove together sound, symbol, and cosmology. Metu Neter was not just about communication.
Yeah, I
it was about
definitely see
understanding
it.
the fundamental nature of
Yeah,
reality.
I like this.
Argues that Metu Neter
I was
was
like,
a form
that's
of
crazy
sacred
they put that
science.
together
It
like
connected
that.
the Egyptians to the cosmic forces that governed their world. Section 5, Demotic Bridge to Arabic. The story doesn't end there. The Proto-Arabic. Demotic emerged as a simplified script in the later periods of ancient Egypt. The Hierophant points to similarities in grammar and vocabulary. Could this be evidence of cultural exchange? Did Demotic influence the development of Arabic? The Hierophant believes further investigation is warranted. Section 6, Ra and Allah shared roots. Perhaps the most controversial claim made by the Hierophant is the connection between Ra and Allah. Ra, the Egyptian sun god, represented the ultimate creative force. Allah in Islam is the one God, creator of everything. That these two deities might share common roots. He argues reflect an ancient understanding of a singular, all-powerful divine source. Section 7, a new perspective on ancient Egypt. The Hierophant's ideas are certainly thought-provoking. They challenge us to reconsider our understanding of ancient Egyptian language and culture. While his claims are not universally accepted, they raise important questions. Could there be more to the story than we currently know? Is it time to revisit our interpretations of the past? The Hierophant encourages us to keep an open mind.
Right. And then what? Okay, I'm sorry.
Exploration. The study of ancient Egypt is an ongoing journey.
Yes,
New discoveries are constantly being made. New interpretations are continually being proposed. The Hierophant's work reminds us that history is not static. It is a living, breathing thing that evolves with each new piece of evidence we uncover. The search for truth is a never-ending quest. Section 9, a final thought. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of ancient Egypt, one thing is certain. The civilization that flourished along the Nile River continues to captivate our imaginations. Their language, their culture, their very existence beckons us to understand.
Yeah, it chopped up a little bit in the end, but that thing prompt, I just put the prompt in there and it laid it out. I'm like, that's crazy. They actually went into the perspective. Huh?
How did you do? Okay, I use AI, but how did you get it to put the pictures and all that with it to go with
it? Do it itself. I did add my own
out.
pictures, but all them other pictures it did on its own. Like
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it did it on its own. I just put like
Hey, can't be telling the ops. Keep talking about it.
Okay, yeah. I got you. But basically, I'm telling you, bro, I'm like, how in the heck that thing went into that, and it's literally telling you what my position is. I just say I'm a YouTuber by the name of Commission AI.
Yeah,
it pick it up. You know what I mean? So I'm like, these people know what we be teaching, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. You see how articulate that he described it? That's crazy. And that's like in 2 minutes, bro. 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes.
Hey, they want to cry about artificial intelligence because they don't know how to utilize it. Go on to stick
that AI.
Your little Google and your Chrome and look up your little stuff. That's on y'all.
Man, that AI dangerous. That AI so dangerous. I'm gonna show you something. This right here, this what inspired me right here. That
y'all be seeing my videos. Stop acting like y'all be seeing my videos.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, you be making your AI videos too, Karima?
She getting the back tap battle war.
For me, should I be killing it?
Okay.
She be killing it.
I be creating a lot of stories. I do what you do. Like I got a whole bunch of them.
A lot of people started to do it. Judah Nash started to use the graphics.
I teach a lot of people how to, present their information just like that.
You gotta send them to me.
Sister, what's her? Sister,
this was
DJ
a
Genesis.
clip.
DJ Genesis, she know how to use it. You
Mr.
know, a couple people in the community
has taught him and gave him that name after he was known by his slave name Brown.
Right here.
Brown himself
How they brought
was connected
Farad
with the
back
American movement started by Noble
Apollo.
Drew Ali.
Look at that.
Abdul Muhammad joined the movement under the name
That's
Brown
crazy.
L. Abdul Muhammad.
That's Noble Drew Ali. That's crazy.
Hey,
But
I did that.
being that I done pretty much ended what I did, but I did want to show y'all. Yeah, man, that's crazy. You see how it brought him alive, him and Farad Muhammad?
Yeah.
That's insane. See, now, what these were the ones that I sent to Karima right here, and I'm opening up now. I'm just showing y'all something. Check this out, bro. You know, because I was looking for the aloglyph. I already had it in other things.
Yeah.
But I went to look right.
Show the rest of them too, because Apollo.
I'm gonna show all of them. I'm gonna show all of them.
Apollo.
This is crazy, right?
The hand. I want you to show
now,
the hand too.
Right. I'm gonna show all that. Now this the last one I posted. Now what I'm showing here, right? Y'all know Akhenaten was said to live around the 18th dynasty, and he was said to be the founder of monotheism, the one God. So when I went to looking, it's a symbol in here that I found. You know, it's a couple of them I found. This is the vessel. Now look at these vessels right here. This vessel is an alternative form of neter, the NTR, which represent God. So this was found during the same 18th dynasty. This is the hieratic version of it. What you looking at here, bro? That's the aloglyph. That's crazy. You know, right there in the 18th dynasty, during the time when Akhenaten founded monotheism. Now this is just the vessel. You know, they use the vessel as a picture, but when you reverse engineer it into the hieratic, this is the hieratic during the 18th dynasty, and this is the symbol for Allah. That's crazy. It's a proto-glyph before the Arabs even came up with it. You feel me? Insane. Watch this. You can't help but see the similarities in that, right? Now, I'm finna get to the one Sister Karima was talking about a few minutes ago. Watch this. This is neter. Now, everybody know what neter mean in Kemet. So I say neter equals Allah, period. I say Akhenaten established the monotheism we proclaim today, straight out of Kemet. I say when you reverse engineer the grapheme back to its original hieratic sign, the cryptographic linguistic veil is lifted. This hieratic ligature, and that's the three-letter word, it says, though used for neter during Akhenaten's time during the 18th dynasty, is attested as far back as the 3rd dynasty of the ancient Kemet, Remic Kemet, the people of Kemet. So there it is right there again. That's the aloglyph. Go to the next one. Picture. This again is in Akhenaten's time. This is in the 18th dynasty. So this is the symbol for neter. Somebody tell me why the symbol for neter in hieratic look like Allah in the Arabic. That's crazy. It looked like the same thing, bro. Watch this. This is the actual grapheme, as they call it. You know, they call them hieroglyph, but this is a grapheme. These are 3 flags, which represent neter. Again, this is the hieratic version of it. And it looked like the aloglyph, bro. That's insane. Now, what get even deeper, when we go down here, this is what Sister Karima was talking about earlier. This is the arm of the human body. Now, it's a hadith in Islam where Allah say, I become your hand with which you grip. You know what I mean? Your leg with which you walk. You know, your eyes in which you see, the ears in which you hear. That's arm, leg, arm, head. Now, look at what this is. Parts of the human body. This is from the 5th dynasty up to the 12th dynasty.
Right.
Somebody tell me why that symbol right there look like the aloglyph, bro.
See, they
crazy.
Y'all ain't ready for this type of high level information. Only at the Lions Inn Academy of Education and Information. We bring it out.
And then I quoted it to her.
Go ahead, Kamisha.
Then I quoted it out of the Quran. I say, this is for those who think the arm of Allah has been weakened. You know, it says, "Really strong is the grip of thy Lord when Allah becomes the hand of power and authority by which man seizes possession." So I was quoting the Quran, you know, 85:12. Then it says, here's another quote. "It is not ye who slew them. It was Allah when thou threw us a handful of dust. It was not thy act, but Allah's, in order that he might test the believers by a gracious trial from himself. For Allah is he who heareth and knoweth, you know, all things." That's quoting from the Quran, Surah 8:17. So the arm of Allah is not weakened. When you toss that sand up in the air, like it said, into their eyes. But this is crazy that this symbol forms out into the Allah glyph. It ain't strange. Now watch this. It get deeper. This right here, I say here, netter equals deific will. The will of spirit, man clothed with soul, made in the form of Allah, depicted standing upright, independent, and fearless in the Metal Ray and Kemet, hieratic Egyptian. The anthropomorphic God, man, in hieratic grapheme speaks for itself. So I went into the math. 9 times 10 equals 99, because we talked about the 99 attributes. And I was talking about the 9th dynasty time 10. You know, I just did that just to deal with the math. But look at this hieratic symbol right here, family. We cannot make this stuff up. Now, why is it always a symbol that's being shown in the form of a man, you know, but then it comes out, because that's basically what it is right there. They saying it's this. But when you go behind it and you transcribe it back to the hieratic and then you lay it on its back, it looked like the glyph of Allah again. That's crazy, bro. Like, we can't make this stuff up. This existed way before me. I'm just pointing out what I seen. Now watch this. This is the last one right here. This was the first one that I actually found. And it made me want to dig deeper. Remember, I was talking about remet. Remet mean people. That's a symbol for remet. Sometimes they be squatting, sometimes they be standing. But I said remet, which equals man, is second inshot. Second inshot mean Egyptian demotic. I'm calling it by what it's really known as opposed to just saying demotic. I say, look at what's hidden in plain sight. I say, I have more to unpack. Allah's divine humor is grade A. Arm, leg, arm, head. So this is it right here. See, that's the remet standing up. I showed him squatting. This is it in demotic. Look at that. Now, when you turn it on its back, that's the Allah glyph again. Like, bro, that's crazy. In the demotic, you see the same name, the same symbol. In hieratic, you see the same thing. When it refers to the arm, you see in the same thing. When you go back to the word netter, which means God, you see in the same symbol, bro. You know, dealing with Allah. That's crazy, bro. You know, and it's been right there in our face all the while, and we've been overlooking it. You know what I mean? So and that's
when you brought this information to Cesare out, has he responded? Because I know you kind of he had to see.
See, I didn't even get this portion to him yet. The other stuff I gave was overkill, but I touched on some stuff similar to this with the name Yahweh. Because you know, if you flip that name upside down and you push them together, then it says Allah too. If you take the Hindu word Om that they meditate with and break it down, it forms Allah. So it's like crazy that how many times this name Allah is coming up across these various different religious symbols. You know what I mean? And it's really referring to the supreme being. But it's also showing us that he speaks to man through man. When he asked, when Moses asked him, he said, who is it that I should say has sent me? He said, I am that I am, right? That's what they normally translate it. Ea Asher Ea. But really, it don't mean I am that I am just that. It actually means I am what I choose to become.
Okay.
So in other words, whoever he chose to become to whatever nation of people that he came to, that's how he manifested himself. And they over here fighting, thinking they fighting different gods, and you blaspheming against
whoever I choose to become. Y'all hear that?
Terrible. I am whoever I choose to become, bro. So that when Moses came, That's how he chose to manifest itself. When Jesus came, that's how he chose to manifest itself. When Noble Drew Ali came to us, that's how he chose to manifest itself. You know, when
what
we
about
came
when Charles
with this
Darwin
knowledge,
came? What happened when he came?
when he came, they were dealing with atheism, so they was in denial.
Hey, speaking of that, hey, what's that little?
So they wouldn't do him if he was there right on.
Talk about, remember, I couldn't get it right. What was that little monster you brought up that one day?
Yeah, oh man, I didn't tell y'all since then.
Hold up, what did
I didn't tell you too since then. Troglodyte nigga.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what they called it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's what the Europeans used to call themselves. Also Lucifer. Remember Lucifer too. They call themselves Lucifer. But you know it's a book called The Negro.
Wait, whoa, stop. Troglodyte Negro, they also call themselves Lucifer?
Yeah, they call themselves Lucifer.
I knew. Yep. I told you, Kramer. Joshua, he calls himself Lucifer, and he's a troglodyte.
Troglodyte nigga. The European called themselves that, but you know, it's a book called The Negro the Beast. It came out right after they freed the slaves in 1865, bro. European wrote this book, made it sound so good. They say our people didn't come off the ship a human. They say we came off a beast, which was the ape. So now we understand where all this. Yeah, that's what they said, bro.
These aren't heroes.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. I say, so here go on pushing a history that's coming from these people, and they saying that we came off the ship, the apes, and then they want to say, oh well, we all descend from apes, but they really talking about our people. European made it sound so good, JJ. He said, if y'all don't stop, God gonna bring the curse down on us for recognizing these people and freeing them. They supposed to be animals. They ain't real people. And then they say we didn't descend from Adam and Eve. So Adam and Eve was too beautiful. Man, I'm like, this book, you got to read the book, The Negro the Beast, JJ. It's terrible. It came out right after they freed the slave. And I say, boy, if they were teaching the white folks this.
You know what we're gonna do? We should read a chapter out of it, once a week, and then just discuss the chapter. You hear me?
Man,
this is to show the mindset.
Bro, it's terrible. Yeah. Straight when I tell you scientific racism, and they're using the Bible, they say our people couldn't be amongst the ancient Egyptians or anybody else because we wasn't builders. Yep. You know what I mean? We was too ignorant to build something.
Digging and finding more black stuff. They got mad talking about noses and everything.
Yeah. Terrible.
We're gonna decipher this and tell them what it means.
What I'm gonna do, because I'm opening up the flow right now. I'm done, but I'm finna drop the link to The Negro the Beast so y'all can read it yourself. And it might piss some of y'all, make y'all mad. It might make you mad. Don't get too upset. Don't hurt nobody. Because this is a whole book. It's worse. You read Willie Lynch and King Alpha. It's worse than that. Them people literally done went in there, bro. They say we didn't descend from Adam and Eve. We descend from apes.
That Negro called himself Lucifer.
Yeah. Troglodyte nigga. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna show you the original. I'm finna show y'all what the original troglodyte nigga look like. I'm gonna show it to y'all right now, so y'all don't think me and JJ just making this stuff up.
How you pronounce it? Troglodyte.
Troglodyte nigga. How you
pronounce it? Troglodyte.
Troglodyte nigga.
The troglodyte nigga. Now look at that. Show that little picture of him, Commission, if you can. If you got it on deck. You know what I'm saying?
They playing y'all other video. I'm trying to go into
okay. You got too many files.
Here we go. Right here. I'm gonna show you the picture. I'm finna show y'all what the troglodyte nigga look like. And I don't descend from that. I don't care what Unc said. You know, me and him never had that debate. He never sat down with me.
He ran.
Watch
like
this.
Chris
y'all gonna trip when y'all see
it. Remember Chris ran for me too. You remember that?
Yeah, every last one of them done ran. Say cool.
I told you that's what we don't be lying over here today. We make them all run.
All of them. Here it go right here. Look, we cannot make this stuff. See what it say troglodyte down here?
Well, you can't see it, Commission. You're not sharing your screen.
Oh, it ain't shared?
Nah. No, they were ugly this time about y'all.
It probably wasn't sharing the whole screen. Let me share the entire screen.
Yeah, I told you.
I bet I can just put this right here. Okay, there you go. You see it now?
No, it's over here, kind of. Hold up. Let's see. Yep, we just showed that to
You
you.
see, you see it?
What's
That's
the
the
name was talking about
troglodyte.
this?
See down there at the bottom? See it, what it called? The troglodyte. Right? Now watch this.
Oh,
Look at the next one.
Indigenous black man
Lucifer.
was talking about this.
The Lucifer, y'all.
Lucifer.
Look.
Lucifer. Look at it. That ain't
That's
us.
just
That's
you.
the white man. That's the European. Look at that. Terrible, man. Look. And look, I say, look, from the original troglodyte nigga, aka Lucifer series.
Oh, come on.
You know what I mean? And then I went into the Quran where it says Surah 265. It's saying, well, ye know those amongst you who transgress in the matter of the Sabbath, and we said to them, be ye apes, despised and rejected.
Now look at that.
So they violated the Sabbath according to the Quran, and they was turned into apes and pigs. That's what the Quran said. So in the Moorish Holy Quran, this is the question. This is our questionnaire. Who were Adam and Eve? They are the ones who brought about discord in the holy city of Mecca. Where did they go? They went into Europe. What is the modern name given to their children? Romans. What is the shade of their skin? Pale. Give 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve. Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, beast. So if Nova Drew Ali wasn't the truth, I don't know what y'all thinking about. Look at that. Look at the other names. Satyrus. Pygmanus. Now watch this. Watch this, right? Watch. So we got Job 30. Listen to what Job knew who they were. Job say, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision. Whose fathers check what he says. Look what Job said about him, JJ. He said, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to sit with the dogs of my flock. Job said they weren't even worthy to sit with the dogs of his flock. He said, yeah, well unto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For in want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former times, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and Jupiter roots for their meat. They was eating roots. This is what Job said they were driven forth from among men, and they cried after them as a thief. Get out of here. He said to dwell in the cliffs and the valleys, in the caves of the earth and the rocks. Oh my God. Y'all been reading the Bible or what? He said among the books. He said among the bushes they brayed. They couldn't even talk. He said under the nettles they were gathered together. He said they were children of food. Yes, children of base men. They were violent in the earth. Now I am their son. Yeah, I'm their byword. They done came out the mouth. He said they abhor me and they flee far from me. He has spared not to spit in my face. He said the table done turned. These beasts done come out the mountain. They ruling over me now. he said because he has loosened my cord and afflicted me. This is just overkill.
Yeah, Haru.
You know, it's overkill.
What the other dude? Haru consciousness. These your ancient forefathers, right? And Lucifer, y'all leader. See, look, hey, circle that little white one for us.
You want to see him again?
Real quick.
Yeah, troglodyte. Right there. Look at him right there. Look at that little tight flow. Yeah, they showing this your evolution right here. Ain't got nothing to do with us. Look at the little tail right there hanging off the bike up. This, and you know who produced this, right? You know where this picture come from. This was Darwin them. Darwin them put this out here. I didn't make this up. This was Darwin them. This was Darwin and all that scientific racism. They created this chart. Commission didn't do that. They say we descend from that. No, that's what y'all descend from. Yeah, I didn't come from that.
It's talking about commission.
Yeah, we didn't come from that. I don't know what y'all talking about. And they think it's a game. Look. And then for those who don't know the name, the Hyksos is really the Hyksos. That's the real European right there. Right there. Them the Hyksos. Look at them. They had their own names in there for these things. So that's why I keep telling you. Look at that. Jacob Ball, Yakabel, that's where Elijah Muhammad got the concept of Yakub from. These are Hyksos. Man, if they don't stop playing, but yeah, that's really an overkill at this particular time.
Yeah, it's overkill,
y'all know
bro.
them where them Hyksos, that's what they was known as. You want to know what the European they would call Hyksos. You know, so again, we done now, but I want y'all to look this up. The Negro the beast. See this right here? Look this up.
Negro the beast. That's right. You heard,
right
you
here.
heard it here. We ain't playing with y'all,
Here
man.
go right here. I want y'all to see this here. We ain't gonna lie to you, bro. They say we came off as the monkey. See it right here? And boy, when I tell you this thing, it's so convincing, JJ, it almost convincing me, and I know he lying. You hear me? That's how convincing this book
That's
is.
how convinced he is. You know he lying.
Yeah, wow. I know he lying. See, look, he said the Negro ain't the son of Ham. He said the Negro is the beast. Look. Negro, the beast, are the image of God. And he wrote this because the European freed the slave, and he was warning them, if they don't stop freeing the slave, wrath gonna come on them.
That's crazy. And that's why I be upset when they be hold on, we got somebody else. We got Sister Sakina Ra in the building.
Bring on in here. You can bring them in. You can bring them in.
How you doing?
Peace to the channel, peace, Queen, and peace to you fellas. This was a really good show. I knew y'all was gonna cut up, but I do have a question.
Peace, Sister Sakina.
So, Commission. Listen, I did miss last week because you know when we have our Shabbat, I do come in when we don't, and so I did miss last week, but. I did like the way you bring forth the Metal Netter script. And I did appreciate because I like the way the women, when they did their work and whatnot. And so my question is, because of the way the translation, because when you talk about the Middle Kingdom. And so we know that, at least I'm going to say me, because I don't know about everybody else. So in the beginning with the Medu Neter, it was an oral language. So we know that in the Middle Kingdom, it became written. And so somewhere along there, the Ptolemaic Kingdom came in. And this is when written language and somewhere where you're talking about came in. So I appreciate that. This is where my dots are starting to connect. So if the language became written, Herodotus or whatever his name is, came in somewhere along there and they started yeah, I'm not good with this is where because I don't like mispronouncing names and whatnot, right? So I know this person was Greek, right? I knew he couldn't read, but he could count, right? And so I'm also gonna say, because I'm gonna bring this out soon, but I'm gonna say it now anyway, because we know we had pharaohs, right? And we didn't have kings in Kemet, we had pharaohs. And so queens didn't get their recognition, right? And so when we talk about some of the duties and queens and wives, they calling them queens now, but pharaohs and queens at that time would have been Pharisees. And the Greeks put on a full dress, not a skirt. They put on a full dress. And then they called themselves Pharisees because they wanted to be the scribes. And that was pretty much the mayat and the balance and the duties of a wife, right? Being scribes because they kept that balance in mayat. So we're not going to massage this and that and make it this or that now. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when it became a written language. Now, Ptolemy did do that. So I do rock with that. However, I'm trying to understand how did a non-verbal language get confused because somewhere along, I took Metal Netter. So somewhere along the line, it went from, what was it, hieroglyphic to hieroglyphic, or what's the other word, that hieroglyphic, demonic, Platonic, Coptic. Do you see what I'm saying? And so this translation, transliteration, then you had Sanskrit, and then, so all of this kind of stuff. Was the blind really leading the blind?
Oh yeah, much so. Now, me and Reggie never had the debate, Queen, but we were supposed to debate this. I'm gonna show you something real quick, just briefly. It ain't long or drawn out. I'm gonna show you something that's very important real quick here. This was the slide that I was gonna use against it. I'm gonna show you exactly where written language came from and how it came into play and everything. Now, pay attention. You talk about the Old Kingdom and Middle Kingdom, right?
Right.
So let's look at the time frame. It's the first dynasty up here. Hieratic existed up here, along with what they like to call Metal Netter. But during that time, it wasn't an alphabet system, because Champoleon's system hadn't even come into existence yet.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why I kept asking them. I'm saying, find an alphabet chart that exists during that time period that shows the methodology that Champollion used in the day. You can't find it. It don't exist.
Right, because it wouldn't have been one.
It wouldn't have been one. So
exactly.
I was telling them that during that time, the ancient Kemites would never understand what they're doing now, because that wasn't their methodology. So look at all these different areas they had to come from, the first all the way down here. And think about it. It's still no alphabet chart. Champollion don't exist at this time. This in like the 26th dynasty. Let's go up here like 3 BCE to 642 CE. This after Ptolemy done come in and did his thing. Champollion still ain't there yet. You see how many thousands of years that existed before that alphabet chart was created? So ain't nowhere in the world you can say the ancient Egyptian was using that. And so this is where his peers that was studying with him was going against Champollion while he was producing this stuff. The Sauce, which was one of his teachers. They say Champollion they say he was a shyster, basically. He was stealing people's work and claiming it as his own. And when he died, he hadn't even created his methodology. There was people after him that came and said that he decided. He hadn't even finished his work. Like I said, they banned his material. They wouldn't even let the French wouldn't let his dictionary be published, Goddess. They wouldn't let it, and it never got published. I'd be saying I want to see that dictionary. But that right there put everything.
I'm sorry, I'm reading a book from somebody. I can't remember the first name. Their last name was Tenzo, right? Mm-hmm. And they almost said the same thing you saying, right? Mm-hmm. However, again, if a language or a verbal language was the reason why I'm saying this, because
you want to know when the language came into existence, basically.
Right, because knowing that even when we teach our children how to pronounce a word, we're sounding it out. So when we saying we're taking a sound language to make it a verbal language to make it written, this is where I'm getting over that hump. So I'm understanding where the Ptolemy stage is at, but we got to walk there to make it from non-verbal to verbal. So this is where I'm trying to fall in line with this.
Okay, I'm finna show it to you. Now watch this, and I'm finna unpack this real quick. This is what I showed them about the Rosetta Stone, right? If you look on this Rosetta Stone, sis, you see that top portion of it, how they got lines and they done chipped it out.
Right.
Why is there no language written up there? And we know this was the original part of it because we can see like they grind it away right here, and then they come into some actual glyphs. So we see it's been tampered with. You see that?
Right.
You see actual glyphs here. This is what they would call hieroglyphics. And then this is Demotic. And then the Greek is at the bottom. It's only 3 languages there. There's no hieratic on the Rosetta Stone. So how can you say that the hieratic was even deciphered? You see what I'm saying? See, they don't point that out, but see, I got the eye to look for it. So now watch this. I'm getting into what you was asking about the language now. I'm finna go to that. Because see, this is another thing. Let me show you this too, just briefly. This is one of the monuments they took over there to Italy. And at the bottom of it, this actually tell you when Ptolemy took over. And he put the decree out there, because all these is like tax decrees. Like when he came in the rulership, like I'm in power now, and y'all finna pay me. F you pay me. This was the original F you pay me, basically.
Okay.
So it says the inscriptions on the obelisk in it says the estate record their dedication to King Ptolemy Urges the second. I'm gonna show you who that is. You're gonna say, oh my God. And 2 Cleopatras as his queen. So he was dealing with polygamy, who authorized the priests of Isis in the Isle of Pilate. Now, what Ptolemy doing authorizing any Egyptian? He running thing now. He done took over. He done took the block. So now you do what he say. Do what I say. I'm finna take you up out of here. That's basically what happened. So he made them basically use Greek symbols and superimpose Egyptian pictures over the Greek language, basically. It says to erect them about 150 years BC as a perpetual memorial of exemption from taxation. So if they did what he wanted them to do, so you ain't gonna get taxed because you rocking with me. Sound like somebody that exists right now in rulership that a lot of our people upset with in presidency. But anyway, so what ended up happening is that the language that originally was used, goddess, what created actual language is actually hieratic, and hieratic gave birth to Phoenician, and from Phoenician came what they like to call ancient Greek and Koine Greek. And so all of that being said, that's where they came up with the alphabet from, that we know today to be alphabets and sounds. And then they tried to reverse engineer, like I was showing in my video. I showed this earlier in the video when I was talking about with Jawu, but look right here. Hieratic was in existence during the Old Kingdom. And if you was in here when we first came in, hieratic is the oldest attested alphabet that existed. So the original alphabet chart would be hieratic. This is hieratic right here. That's what it looked like. But ain't nobody teaching hieratic. They teaching pictures. And that's where they going astray. Because see, this is hieratic right here. This is hieratic. Hieratic was on stones. Look at that. That's hieratic right there. Now check this out. This is the Ankoria script. This is Demotic. That's why I told you Arabic actually originated from Demotic. If you didn't know no better, I didn't tell you, you would think that was Arabic. But no, that's Demotic. That's where Arabic copied their style from. That would be Arabic without the vowels. That's Demotic. This is Greek, or what they call Hecopta. You see what I'm saying? And I say misnomer Greek script. See the Arabic? Because I compare them right here. Kufic Arabic compared to that. Then I showed the Meroitic script, which they got a pictorial alphabet, but the European call that pseudo. So how the alphabet of the ancient Nubians gonna be pseudo, and it's older than Champollion, but y'all don't call Champollion alphabet pseudo? Something wrong with that picture. This is the Diary of Merir, the oldest document, one of the oldest ever written, in again around the time of Tahotep and all of that. This like 4,500 years ago. That's like what? That's like 6,500 years, 65,000. Well, yeah, 6,500 years ago, basically. This is hieratic right here, a hieratic paper, the Diary of Merir that they found right there. Now, also here's another portion of the hieratic numeral system. You know what I mean? It was found as well. This is more hieratic papyri. You know, the oldest Egyptian writing papyrus displayed for the first time. You know, I actually have it there. That's this is actually Papyri Prisay. This is the Book of Tahotep. That line, that top line, is the one that I transliterated and I showed it to them earlier. You know, this is the oldest book. So all this stuff was written in hieratic. This is the true alphabet of the what they call Medu, Re, and Kemet. You know, instead of Medu Netta, it's called Medu, Re, and Kemet. And that's the language of the ancient Egyptians. You know, so the pictures came in, you know, as far as them making them letters, that came in during the time of Champollion and Gardenia and all of these particular ones. See, this is where they was creating these different. See, this is the Meroitic script. Look at the symbols they have in here. But these symbols, even though you'll see them in Champollion chart, they don't mean the same thing Champollion's symbols mean. So why are they different from his if there's the same thing? So once you see all of this here, now we're gonna tear Reggie behind up. You know what I mean? He didn't take the debate though. And in fact, he later, with all due respect, I respect him because Reggie said he said my methodology was correct. You see, so this is the Phoenicians. This shows you the influence that the Phoenicians gained from the the Phoenicians took from the ancient Egyptians. This is Phoenician. You would think this was Kemet if you didn't know no better. Look at all of that. Look at that. Look at this. This is all Phoenician art. That's how heavy the Phoenicians was. This is all Phoenician. They was influenced by Kemet. So if they influenced them in this way, look at the Heru bird. All in Phoenician. The goddess. You know, look at all of that. The Sphinx. And here it is right here. This is proof. Your boy Derogue, the European scholar Derogue, man, was correct. See, he have hieratic over here, and he got the Phoenician next to it. Now look at that hieratic letter over there, and look at the Phoenician. Only thing changed is there was a break in this, and the cross line is not there. Look at the letter B. This is the letter B right here. Look at the change in it, but you can see the similarities in it, but the slight change. You know, look at the G. This is the hieratic G. And look at the G over here in Phoenician, which later became known as, they call it Paleo-Hebrew as well. See the D right here? That's what they call the hand. Look at the same symbol. So Phoenician derived from hieratic. Look at the E. Only thing they did, this is the hieratic E. They flipped it up perpendicular instead of it being horizontal. Look at the snake that they would call. This is the letter F. Now, look at how they stood it up in the Phoenician. Like, we can't make this stuff up. This is the original H. This is the T in the C. This is H. Look at the H, how the H evolved. And the H look the same today in the English alphabet, but this is the Phoenician H. These three symbols here, either one of them. That's the H in the hieratic. This is the T. You know what I mean? So we can go letter for letter. K, L. Look at the letter L. The letter M, we can see M kept its form all the way up into the English language. This is the M in hieratic and the M in Phoenician. So we can literally see that hieratic gave birth to Phoenician. So this is where your actual alphabets and sounds come from. You see what I'm saying? And they've been teaching you pictures because that's what the Romans did to hide it. Here's a chart right here. Here's a chart proving what I'm.
Let me do one more. Let me ask you one more thing. Because when it started out, when we started out, now I'm rusty, but when we started out, it started out again because I like when you broke it down because I did come in late. We started out like nouns and whatnot, but we did start out with single letters, and then it broke into double letters or double things, and then it went into like when you said shorthand, because I did take shorthand, and so when it started to break into a second period, we went into a dynasty. So at first it started out when you showed M with the owl, and we were doing single things like that when you showed the water as in and then it went into the mouth, and then later on when we got into another period, another dynasty or have you, we got into Semtawi. So then we got into where two things and they came together. You see what I'm saying? Like in shorthand. So those two symbols came together because we might have been in another dynasty and things changed, right? And then when we got into another period, because the language changed, but this probably so because language came into fruition, right?
Oh, different people were ruling.
Exactly. So
some people didn't even know the language that came in. Like when the Greeks came in, they didn't know about Kemet.
Come on. So now we have signs and symbols. So me, myself, I can't speak for everybody. There were several dictionaries and whatnot I used for this class because in the translation, you also have to draw, right? Shorthand is a drawing experience, period. That's the whole writing symbol. And for the metal netter, it's pretty much the same. You have to translate it where you're going to have to draw these things. And you got to be able to understand them in order to transcribe. You have to translate, and it's the whole thing. So it's a bigger understanding. It's serious work. That's why I applauded the ladies on your channel when they was doing the work. It's real work. Because when the young man spoke, I'm not going to discredit him. But if you're not going to do the work, you're not going to get it.
There you go. That's right. That's right. You got to do the work.
Again, this is why I'm really trying to get the understanding, because we can't shoot nobody down unless you've been there. So I've jumped several, not but in my lifetime, I've jumped from denomination to denomination to denomination because I'm here for understanding. I was never trying to seek a God. I'm trying to seek understanding. Everybody trying to do something else. Well, I'm trying to get an understanding. So here I am connecting dots.
That's right.
Because if it's a language barrier and everybody's saying it didn't happen and this ain't that, well, apparently it did happen because people speak different languages. So
that's right.
Something happened, and I'm here just to connect some dots. So
yeah,
I appreciate always coming over here, right? And I appreciate always going over there, right?
That's right.
Because I just want to be able to ask a few questions and try to see what these dots are. So
that's right.
That's my question right now.
Yeah. And see, I'm not even, them brothers don't understand. I wasn't even trying to attack them. The problem is they understand their methodology, right? And I'm trying to show them, okay, yeah, I see what Champollion did. And they don't know I can read just like they read. I can read Champollion methodology. But I'm trying to tell them that ain't the methodology of the ancestors. And they can't accept that because what they've been taught. You know,
how many years you've been saying that for a long time? So
I've been saying it for a long time, brother, but I got the sources to back it up. And I got some stuff from somebody during Champollion time. And boy, he was going in on Champollion. You know what he was saying, JJ? The same thing that I'm saying.
And this was doing
huh?
No, I appreciate. I'm sorry. I said I appreciate you, IBM. I understand translation happened, but I also believe a mistranslation happened.
That's what we talking about, and that's exactly what we saying.
And in between translation, there is 5 possible translations that you can possibly get from that. And so with that perspective of a window, there couldn't be a mistranslation just as easy when you got 5 possible translations to choose.
That's right.
This is why I asked, was the blind leading the blind?
That's right. Yep. That's exactly what's going on. The blind leading the blind. See, if you look here, because I had sources. See, this say Semitic alphabet vintage, illustration dictionary of words and things. This from 1895. This is their chart. Look at what they did. Same thing. The hieratic letter. Same thing. You can see how this evolved. Only difference is if you turn that around, it become the P. If you take certain measures in here, you can see where they come off a little bit, but you can see what a phonetic came out of that, and then they show how the Hebrew come from the phonetic, then the Syriac, you know, and then you deal with the regular English characters that make up these same letters. Samaritan, they even got the Arabic up in here. So yeah, all of these alphabets come in, but they actually start from one parent, hieratic, Phoenician, and then everything else came out of that. You see? So even the evolution of the Hebrew alphabet. See it right here? They got the Egyptian hieroglyphic, but then they got over here, you know, the Hebrew alphabet, which is the Proto-Sinaitic, Proto-Canaanite. So average Hebrew will tell you where the Hebrews invented the alphabet, but they don't know. No, your alphabet came from somewhere too. It came from Kemet. You feel me? So everybody claiming something because it was given to them. It's just like this. You growed up on a certain street. So you can get a history to the block that you come up on. Somebody else will get a history to the block they come up on because they came from there. But people think that, well, since I ain't been outside my block is the history of the world. And that's where they wrong at. No, it's many other blocks outside of your block that got a different history from your history. Just because you don't know the history of that block in Chicago, because you from New York, or you don't know the history from New York and Florida, don't mean them people wrong about their history. They know how they growed up. They know how they came up. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what's going on with this language right here. Look at that. There it is again. Egyptian hieratic. And notice it says Phoenician, the Moabite stone, the Solon inscription, the Hebrew. There it go. That's the same thing I was showing you with Phoenician, but it's called Hebrew. So what they call in Paleo-Hebrew is really Phoenician. They also call that same Phoenician Koine Greek. You see what I'm saying? So we got the Hebrews and we got the Greeks claiming a language that's theirs that really is Phoenician. Because there you go right there. That's the Phoenician language. Again, where did it come from? The hieratic. There it is again. These different charts that's showing the same thing. So I went through this and I was getting ready to really whoop Reggie behind. This actually showed, you know, and I got respect for the brother, but, you know, I have to get on him every now and then. A friendly that means it ain't never been no hatred. But these symbols right here, I showed it on SAR channel. They come straight out the pyramids. Look at the Unicode number right there. This Hebrew, this older than Champollion chart right here. This chart right here. But they call this a pseudo-alphabet. The Egyptologists do anyway. Look at what they call in Paleo-Hebrew. What is that? That's Phoenician right there. You see what I'm saying? So people don't know the history to that extent. And there it is again. There you got hieratic again. There go your Phoenician. So again, that's the original alphabet outside of the pictorials. Pictorials always existed, but they didn't exist in the way that Champollion brought forth to the 19th century. There it is again. This is a pure chart right here. Look at it. It says hieratic sign. There it go again, Phoenician alphabet. Somebody else draw these different style, but you can definitely see the relation between the letters. Whether they was turned at a different angle or what, you can definitely see that hieratic and Phoenician is pretty much the same thing too. You know, so it's crazy. This is a evolutionary chart on the hieratic and Phoenician right here. Right here. Look at that. Same thing all the way up to here. Everybody used this Phoenician style alphabet at one time. Another. You know what I mean? We can't make this stuff up. And so I got it. And then I showed them it was only 3 scripts in the Rosetta Stone again. And then, you know, it actually tells you, you know, about the origins of the language. In fact, better yet, when I started up here in the beginning, it actually gave the story here. It says the argument of the preceding pages and it may now be restated categorically as follows. The Semitic occupation of Egypt lasted for several centuries. The origin of the Semitic alphabet is connected with this occupation by 3 distinct lines of evidence. The first is external. The sojourn of Israel in Egypt is nearly synchronous with the Hyksos period. Before the Hebrews went down into Egypt, the art of writing was unknown to them. When they came out of Egypt, they possessed it. The inference seems clear. It must have been acquired from the kindred races who occupied the delta. The internal evidence points to the same conclusion. The forms of Semitic letters were not derived from monumental hieroglyphics, but from cursive hieratic. See what I'm saying? You know, and that's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. You know, and all the other sources following up basically say the same thing that one said. You know, like I say, I had this and I had links to go to. I was going to really open up a fresh can on our brother if he'd have took that debate. You know, it's going to be real crazy out here. But he ended up humbling himself and, you know, accepted what was being said. And that's what it is. Because I'm just trying to show our people what happened. You know, how they changed this stuff. I got all the source material right here. You know what? This is some of the notes from your boy Champollion right here when he was messing with the Demotic. Then I showed how the Greek alphabet was used, you know, to make Egyptian connection to the letters. If you look at these Greek letters, them the ones that they used to build off the Rosetta Stone. This is Champoleon's measure here from A.M. Dacier, the lecture of Champollion. This is the Greek alphabet again, dealing with the Demotic that he used. You know what I mean? So like when I dug into this family, I dug all the way into it. But everybody thinking Champollion was the first to even try decipherment. Well, check this out. This came from Ibn Washir, Arab, way before Champollion even tried to decipher the alphabet. And he was trying to compare the Arab symbol. Ain't that so? You know what I mean?
Right.
It goes on and on and on. You know, so it's really in the eye of the beholder, and whatever you want to accept at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So if they want to accept Champollion methodology, that's what it is. But I'm just here to tell them that wasn't the ancient Egyptian methodology. That's all. You know, so yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate it. Truly. So my final question is, so the difference truly is the coming from a new to a nigh. That would truly be the difference.
Pretty much.
Okay, that's it. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was pretty much it for me. I'll see you this Sunday, or maybe not this Sunday, maybe next Sunday. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah. I'll be on there. I'm gonna be there this Sunday because we got to finish up our last thing. We getting ready to go back into the hieratic.
Okay, well, hopefully I'll be there this Sunday. I might be late. I hope not. Maybe so.
Brother Commissioner, are you? You're not reading the chat, are you?
Nah, I ain't reading it. Nah, I ain't seen that. I still got my
Brother Commissioner, are you reading the chat?
Nah, I hadn't read the chat. What they got in there?
Somebody, I just talking about you. They talking about you stealing his information.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm talking about?
Black man said,
I don't even know these people. I'm gonna tell you what. You know why they're doing that, Jay?
This is his information right here.
I don't even know this guy, and he couldn't explain this if I gave him the opportunity to. Now let me tell you this here. What they doing? I'm gonna tell you what's going on. They loving the information I'm putting out here, but don't want to admit it. They want to steal what I'm doing, but I done put it out here, so now they can't say that it belonged to them because I done already put it out here. And so now they want to try to act like I stole it to try to get some credit off my name. Stop it, indigenous. You're doing the same thing, Lord Allen. The other day on some other channel. I don't even know you.
I don't know if you want any smoke with
I don't even know him. I don't even know this guy.
Yeah.
I'm stealing your information, bro. Unless he's saying that as a compliment. You know, unless he's trying to flatter me or something. Yeah, I don't, yeah, brother. I don't know you. I ain't. Maybe he's saying that, JJ. Maybe he's saying because I see him giving me he gave me props in there too. He said, "Good job, commission."
Okay.
So maybe he just
you might have stole a few. He said you. So I think he talking about the scientific racism stuff. Yeah, I think. Did you ever hear him teach?
Do you know how long we've been over there in your bike chat teaching that? Do he know that, JJ? How many people we done beat up with that? Was indigenous black man around at that time? Sister Karina, did you even see him? It's been about 4 or 5 years ago. We was beating people up.
He said he was teaching over. Did you used to go on Unbiased Sports? Because he said that's where he
never been over there. I ain't been on no chart. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't been on nobody knowledge wise, but the Lion Den and Sonetta in all my years. I ain't lying to y'all. I ain't been on none of these people's platforms. And Wujawu, I went on his platform. But other than that, I don't know who these
I think one time did we go on Garfield? We might have went over there, but you know, I was with you.
Yeah, we went to Garfield.
And then we went on FOPE. Yep.
FOPE, that's right. Yep. That's right. That's right.
Regulars over here and this on Sonetta. Yeah. I told her that you might know some information, but there's other people who know it too. Everybody saying regurgitating the information, man.
But you know, this is a better thing to say, indigenous black man. This is what the Moors say when we see somebody that put information out there that's similar to what we got. You should be happy because that's confirmation You know, we say if you don't want more to know, don't think it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, because sometimes when we be on my conference call, and it might be something I'm getting ready to say, or I might just think a thought. As soon as I think the thought while the more teaching, they'll say what I'm thinking.
Right.
And it happen often. I say, well, if you don't want more to know, don't think it. And that's what's going on, bro. You know, so yeah, that's pretty much the end. Y'all see that last little alphabet chart I got up there? That's the one I created and I mapped to the English letter when I was showing them how easy it is to create an alphabet chart. I was making mockery. And then I asked them what it meant, and it said Uncle Ajet Saneb Sarnetta. I had them translated. You know what I mean? What these symbols mean. And it was basically life, health, and prosperity be upon you, Sarnetta. I was doing that to show them how quick it is. You can create an alphabet chart. And I used the Meroitic letters that hadn't been deciphered yet. So if I was able to do that right there, then how easy you think it was Champollion to take them symbols and put them on Greek letters?
Right.
That's it. Man, they better stop playing.
But yeah, we've been talking about the troglodyte Negroes and all that, man. We've been on Uncle neck just like you have, we've been on his neck, bro.
Yeah.
I've been battling them niggas for years. Excuse my language.
Real talk.
Evolution crowd. Yeah.
Real talk, man. Ain't nobody else trying to get on the panel? Yeah, that's another thing. That's how I know they be talking. And they don't be wanting no smoke. It always been like that.
They always scared to come up. What they gonna do? Chris Harris, you better not make no videos. None of y'all, because y'all got the opportunity. Any of y'all.
Chris Harris been running for 7 years now.
I told him that. Come on, bro. See confirmation. We don't make this up.
Watch this. What you finna laugh at this right here, JJ?
All right, go ahead.
I'm finna let you see Aunt and Reggie. Watch this.
All right.
Watch this now. Like I say, you know, I give props to him because he humbled himself. Reggie did too. But you know, it is what it is. And they only did that to get me out the way. Because they tired of me whooping them.
Right.
You know they can see they woke up a sleeping giant when they start poking the bear.
They do different tactics to get rid of me. They got different tactics. Yeah, all the same bullshit up.
Here, go right here. Let me see him. Okay, let me go into my clips.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is crazy work right here. I can't go into my. Oh, I actually have it in my shorts. That's where it's at. Right here. Watch this. Boy, this was funny.
Nah, ain't no more calling and you don't even appreciate when I hold the phone up for you. Nah, you better get another caller. We don't do call-in numbers over here. We push the button and jump on the goddamn only. Hey, how you gonna be talking about you beating up folks on the jailhouse car, man? Nah, you know, he's a brother, man, but you got to figure this out.
Oh, that's what he say he in jail?
Nah,
he better be careful.
He in jail.
He on that burner phone, boy. He better be okay. Yeah, I was say you better be careful, boy.
Okay. Hey, did you? Come on.
Here go right here. Look at
It's getting late, man. Put that burner phone up. That's my car.
No.
DJ, please pick up your phone.
He said,
request wine. Look at that.
And listen to him, JJ.
Telephone man, there's something wrong with your line. Look at that. All right, dude.
Hey, JJ, check him out. Listen to Listen to Check him out. I gotta find that original, so that's too low.
Okay. You can ring my bell. Ain't that the telephone? I'm gonna name all the telephone call songs on you, nigga.
Hold up. Let me see.
Half man, half it. I'm gonna be nice.
So let's go right here.
Talk about somebody. Talk about somebody. Ain't nobody scared. Nope. You know, yeah, it's duly noted. What you did the other night was duly noted. I wasn't but nothing but nice to you. And you kept disrespecting me. I ain't forgot.
All the videos right there that Reggie them deleted. I know he said he probably did it because they had too much memory on it. Let's see him. Not that one. Okay, yeah, this is where close to where they at right here. Okay. Most of these videos.
The number is 777-9311. Call in.
Okay. All right. Let me see now. Okay, that was our whatchamacallit right there.
Everybody hit that like, share, and subscribe, man. Okay, out the blue. Hey, Kareem, drop the link for the guys that
Yeah, drop it for them. Let them come on in.
Yeah. And Carl investigating out the blue, and he might get you up here. Somebody signing at a boo boo guy. Now all of a sudden I'm signing at his boo boo. Get the hell up out of that bullshit, nigga.
Terrible.
Ain't that terrible? Many niggas don't get their way, they turn on you.
Where's the one that
Ain't no hey, we're talking about playing victim. I ain't no I didn't come up on the goddamn stage. You playing victim. Everybody's stealing your information.
Who said somebody playing victim?
Well, no, that's me and Indigenous going back and forth.
Oh, y'all going back and forth at each other?
He said Moses stole the 10 Commandments from him, y'all. Oh shit! The first line was, "Thou should not regurgitate indigenous black man information." That was number one. Ain't nobody look acting like you can teach what you do. Nigga, you play videos and then you talk behind it. Nigga, you ain't put no PowerPoint together. So stop it, bro. Hey, get in the channel flag, bro. Cut it out. Nigga. I had you back, but now you want to try to turn on me? Like, get on up the road, man. I don't care about you coming on, but I ain't holding no phone for you no more.
Boy, I tell you, they make you have to jump through all type of hoops just to get into your stuff now, boy.
Right. What up, Apollo, man?
Terrible.
Kruger might be, I don't know if she's asleep, but he's looking for that link.
It is right here. Check him out.
All right.
Just when I ran Reggie off the panel, look.
The mirror, we got a lot of things that you could probably got to catch up.
Listen, Jew.
He said he been teaching hieroglyphs. Come first, though. And then ain't nobody see you teach no goddamn hieroglyphs, bro. I mean, you need to cut it out.
Because
can you see that, Ray? I mean, can you see that?
Yeah, make it.
Listen to it because it's low.
I want to see.
Okay.
Listen to it because it's low.
This prior to our next now, right? What is a decipherment method? Right? You have to do that because otherwise you're just making stuff up.
Reggie, again, I want to see the chart that exists prior to. I'm asking this question for a reason. All you got to do is admit it ain't there on chart.
It ain't no chart. I already told you that. So y'all.
You heard that? Y'all heard Unc say it ain't no chart.
Yeah, yeah, I heard it.
You heard him? Unc say it ain't no chart. I already told you that. You know, and if we go further into it, you're gonna see Reggie lead. He gonna run. Watch this.
Hey, Commissioner, and then this black man said he been teaching hieroglyphs, and you don't want no smoke with him.
Yeah, he teaching Champollion methodology. He better think again.
I ain't seen no video.
Because that ain't what we talking about. I'm already over his head.
Always over your head.
That's what I'm saying. I'm already over his head.
Come on, somebody regurgitate.
There you go, right there.
What is a decipherment method?
Listen.
Right? You have to do that. Because otherwise, you're just making stuff up.
Reggie, I want to see the chart that exists prior to. I'm asking this question for a reason. All you got to do is admit it ain't there a chart.
It ain't no chart. I already told you that.
So y'all agree it ain't no chart that exists.
It's a better stone.
Okay, so y'all all agree unanimously that there is no chart that existed prior to Champollion.
I don't know. It might. I don't know. I don't think it is. But go ahead.
I'm saying, okay.
Like what kind of chart? What you mean?
We're gonna give you a thumb up if you admit.
Okay.
Right. What about you, Reggie? What about you, Reggie? You agree that it wasn't a chart?
All right. Reggie ran out the
bed. Hey, after Unc admitted it, what else could he say? The problem is every time he killed and they got to come in behind.
Hey, Reggie was over here a couple of nights ago, man. Shout out to Dr.
I'm the loop what I see. Trying to distort what it is that I beat 3 of them up at one time. And they still couldn't do it.
Go ahead,
terrible.
Kareem, if you're there out the blue, invested out the blue.
I want everybody to know that I see a champion in the future, and Smash, we coming for you first, Smash. Commissioner Depp is in the building, y'all. Commissioner Depp is in the chat. So y'all be ready. Commissioner Depp, I see a champion in the making in that young soldier. So y'all better be ready, man. Rise to the 7, goddammit.
Hey, he just don't know that you already been the champion, man.
Be on the lookout, brother.
Hey, son, legendary lines in champion.
Like he got that proves he a dedicated shooter.
I called all of them out. Reggie, Unc, and Smash.
Why you playing with me?
Right. Come on, bro. They all be running.
Here y'all go with the running shit. I knocked down your floor.
You know what I'm saying? You see,
they go running.
Said, there y'all go with the running. You know, yeah, they know they running.
They always running. They know what it is.
Yeah, and so, and I'm way worse now than I was before. If they'd have left me alone, they might have had a chance. But when they go to getting at me, I go to digging. And boy, when I go to digging,
hey, Commissioner,
I had 300 slides to unpack on Sharpnetta channel the other day. 300 slides, bro.
Right.
I ain't even give them all up. Imagine if I'd unpacked all 300. You know what I mean? So like, we can't make this stuff up, bro.
Yeah.
Would
you be willing to have a conversation about hieroglyphs with my brother, Indigenous Black Man, if I call him up right now?
I mean, what we gonna talk about? Other than what I said.
I want to say, I hope he don't come on here messing up the show, man. Hey, bro,
if you come on there talking about Champollion methodology, that's asinine. You know what I mean? Cause you already know I don't deal with that. I mean, you can do that. I'm telling you, that's your methodology. That's what you want. But I'm not finna go back and forth with you on that. You know, there's nothing to compete about. Tell him to come on here. If he come on here, tell him to bring that ancient Egyptian alphabet chart on here. Now shut up. Tell him that's the deal. Tell him to come on here and bring me the ancient Egyptian alphabet chart that existed before Champollion. Since he knows so much. Tell him to do that. Come on here and bring that alphabet chart.
You my phone league debate champ. You know, I'm gonna start a little. Hey, I'm gonna start a little genre for you. You know, I ain't giving up on you. my phone lead. Oh shit! All right, come on. That's terrible.
That's
help
crazy,
me out. I'm
man.
gonna start a debate phone lead, nigga.
Yeah, but I'm pretty much that's it. Sister Karima, you still there? I know you here.
I got
you ride out with us to the bus stop. I want to see what the sister got to say. I mean, if she woke, it says it's impossible to prove that the Most High Yah, creator of all things good and evil, does not exist. Even science. That's right, Shara. You know, the Most High exists, and them fools that's out here saying he don't crazy. You know what I mean? Like it don't take long to tell the truth. And the only person that's saying that they're atheists is somebody that don't believe in themselves. Unfortunate. And the thing is about it, like I said, when they said who they say that was outside the cube. So I never say outside the cube.
The link is in the chat.
And I told him because I ran Cube off too. You know what I mean? That's another measure. But when you deal with the concept of God, what they can't get around is how many times you look at this glyph of God represent man.
Right.
You know, arm, leg, arm, head. As much as you hate Allah, his signature is on your being. How you gonna change that? As much as you hate Yahweh,
yeah,
he in your DNA when you deal with the God code. Come on, man, stop playing.
Okay, if you're hold on, if you're on Facebook, the link may not be on there. And if you watch from JJ7K TV, you got to come over to the Lions Den, home base. Come over to home base over here, and the link should be in the chat. You know, like I say, you too angry, bro. I don't know, man. You know, everybody's stealing information. Now I got a heavy job. You know, I mean, come on, bro. You're 62 years old, man. Come on, bro. Cut it out. Come on, man. You can't say I ain't never help you out, bro. I'm the only one in the community to hold the phone up for you to do a whole presentation for 3 or 4 hours, man. Stop it. You know, and you know, I don't know, but I got you got Kamisha. I mean, call her on your messenger, Kamisha. Cause my phone is in charge. Let me try to charge it. Great, hey, it was a great show today, man. And somebody's in the audience, Kamisha, this because the title is different. Well, the title says something about science. Can science prove or disprove the existence of a creator? What's your thoughts on that, Kamisha? Did I get Kareem on here?
Okay, you say they say yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. You know, the science that proved that Yah exists is the God code, man. Stop playing. The God code equal everything that what it take to make up a human being body, bro. Nitrogen, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. When you break the word Yahweh down, it break down in the gematria, the Stoicheion gematria, or commantria, and it breaks it down letter for letter, bro. YHWH, YHWG. God eternal within the body, bro. So anybody that's atheist couldn't even be atheist. That's why it's instinctive. When you're behind get in a car accident, first thing you holler, Jesus, God. You know, oh my God. But you atheist though. You know, somebody pull that iron on you and go to shoot 100-round drum at your behind, you hollering, oh my God. But you atheist though. Stop playing. Because it ain't in the nature of somebody to be a disbeliever, bro. A death-defying the situation to make God become your reality. Right or wrong, JJ?
Right, bro.
Real talk. Let something happen to you, and the first thing you hollering is, oh my God. Why is that?
Yeah, real quick. That's I know. Yeah, I mean, you hear atheists say it sometimes. Oh my God, You hear him slip up and say that. But indigenous, man, come on, bro. You got to at least get about 10 debates. About 10 debates under your belt before you even get in the ring with me, bro. I mean, I'm done giving these new guys who don't even understand the art of debating and just think they get up there and run their goddamn mouth and win the debate. You got to prove yourself, bro. Just hiding behind the camera, on the phone, and I said it on such and such. You know, that don't count, bro.
And see this here, this is what I be talking about, JJ. You done gave this man the number. He talking about you throwing slide stirs and playing the victim again, right? But he ain't called that number you gave him. Because he playing.
777-9311. I told you what it is. Oh, it's 8675309. I'm not holding the phone for you no more, bro. Because the way you was acting the other day, man, disrespecting me. Come on, bro. Ain't nobody playing no victim. Me and Kareem has seen it. You're not going to come on here yelling and no, you're not going to do that, bro. You're going to sit in the audience. Nope.
Shouts out to the family out there trying to get their mind right with this information, man.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot going on in the world. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, and we need to be trying to come together. You know, this religious game banging got to stop.
Apollo said he'll hold the phone.
It don't bother me.
Apollo said
it don't bother me.
Give some quarters.
It don't bother me for my people to believe anything other than what I believe.
Everybody's stealing his information.
Terrible.
He said he taught hieroglyphs.
He ain't teaching what I teach.
Hey, he taught hieroglyphs before the Zero Dynasty, nigga. Let's get that. Okay. Hey, they mummified him and stole it from him. He come back. Regenerated. Hey, Doc got that from you, didn't he? Doc got that from you, that regeneration thing.
Well, you know, that's about like everybody that swear that I made all this stuff up,
right?
That existed way before I existed. They give me too much credit. Like, how in the heck, you know, I got to show enough have a mean library, archive, and wisdom, bro, to be able to make all this stuff up, bro. I thank you for the flattery, but
right, you done burned your phone privilege up on every platform, nigga. How about that? Hey, Unbiased won't hold the phone for you no more.
They don't make calling cards no more. They don't make it, and this ain't JPay unless you in the county jail somewhere.
Come on, man. You gonna have to do something
gotta
different.
Use a little humor.
This is getting out of hand.
We gotta use a little humor. Terrible. Got to be more careful. But yeah, man, it was a grand show, man, and another one for the archives for you, JJ.
Yeah, right.
It was good to build with you, bro, and Sister Karima. We got a couple of more in here, but you know we had to refresh our people's mind. The next time I come in here, you know I think I'm gonna go into your boy. You know that wrote during the time of Champollion.
Yeah.
And, I'm gonna show you what he was talking about. Right, man, that's a whole lot to unpack. But I took small stuff out of there so it wouldn't be long. Like even with Sekou, you know that debate we were supposed to have about Muhammad, you know, being of African descent.
Did he run?
He didn't do it. You was on the panel, I think, when they scheduled that.
Probably was.
Yeah, and I told him Sheikh Anta Diop himself said that Muhammad was African. And I think he went and read it in the book. He was like, no, why he don't come on Sarnetta platform no more? I ain't seen him in a minute. Sekou.
I don't know. Sekou, you come over here, man. We ain't gonna, you know, see, a lot of these guys scared to peek up, and they're peeking it from the outside. That's what they're doing. Sekou, if you're in the African bush, hold up. Sekou, if you're in the African bush somewhere peeking around, it's okay.
The African bush.
The lions ain't gonna get you today.
You should have said pan. You should have said Pan African bush.
Okay.
You should have said Pan-African bush. You know, he say
Pan-African,
this is the Pan-African methodology. Yeah, if I ain't know no better, I think he was T'Challa from Black Panther talking. This is the African way.
Yeah, you Americans know nothing. Well, you come over here trying to tell us something. Man, come on, man. You gotta cut that out.
Submail.
Apollo, is you gonna call? Is you gonna call for the brother or not, man? What's going on? Shit.
What are you gonna try to three-way?
Yeah.
Hey, man, if you ain't got the right type of phone technology, you definitely don't need to be on here trying to pop nothing. You need to take care of your functions, man. Get your apparatus right. Cause with your phone outdated, then I know them hieroglyphs you talking about speaking on got to be out.
Hey,
I know your methodology got to be flawed.
With a phone card, nigga.
I know that methodology got a hole in it, man, if your phone ain't right.
Hey,
you still got
that phone card expired and they got that 2003, nigga. It don't work.
He got that dang on spin rotary dial over there. That plug in the wall.
Hey, that pointing finger be so as hell by the time he gets to the fourth number.
Yeah, it be sounding like the commode flushing when it spin back round.
Woo.
That phone right there always became a weapon in a movie. Somebody always got hit in the head with that phone. Cause that phone was heavy as I don't know what. You hit somebody with that phone, you going to jail. It was a weapon. Yeah, I done seen a many people defend themselves with that rotary dial, boy. Yeah, a woman be trying to be pursued by a man or something. She put that rotary dial on it behind. He going to sleep. But it say JJ and Unc need to have a read off. They both struggle with Dr. Seuss. You see him down there, JJ?
Yeah, my buddy.
That's
the best he can do. Nigga. He said, me and Unc need to have a read off. Hey, you got,
Apollo.
We don't know if you can have a read off, nigga. All you do is play videos.
Told him we about that Sofo Mania. Terrible, man. Well, our sister Karima must be done went to bed.
Okay, I got
late.
I got 3%. I got 3%. I call Kareem. Yeah. Oh man, great show. Great show, man. Hey man, like I said, we had a great show, man. We had the two brothers, man, getting ready to fight for the championships. Cedric Ortega, you know, the Lions Den champion, versus got then the number 2 contender in the Lions Den, James Purcell. You see what I'm saying? Then we had Keon come on, you know what I'm saying, giving us updates on what's going on in the community. Our special guest was AI John Cena. And then we had the Kamisha come on, man. The whole show was great, man. John Cena, I mean, everything, the AI. You just got to know how to utilize it, man. You see how he was just talking to me like we regular people. It wasn't no leading questions. Okay, you backstage, Apollo? Kareem. Let me call Kareem. Hold on. Let me call Kareem. Hold on. Yeah, Kamisha, keep talking for a second. Tell everybody where they can find you, your channel, and all that.
Yeah. Y'all can find me at Commission Adept Hereford. You know, y'all hit that right there, and it's gonna come up. I actually had somebody, JJ, too, that tried to come up against me, and I created a whole website. And this dude went and wrote a whole book about Commission. I don't know who this dude is. He done went all the way and studied Arabic and came back. I'm gonna show you the website. I say, God dang, y'all be having enemies that I don't even know.
Right.
Watch this. You gonna say this crazy. I'm gonna do this while you calling Kareem.
Okay.
Look at this. I can't make this stuff up, man. Let's see here.
Shout out to the ladies, DJ Genesis in the building.
Okay, there you go, right there. Let's see. Yeah, people, I got people out here. They've been coming at commission up from all areas. I have no idea who these people is. Wait a minute, why it ain't letting me? Hold up, I gotta do it like this, probably. Okay.
There go Kareem. She back, huh? Oh, there she go. Kareem, there's two people want to come up. I know you're probably tired.
Oh, she back?
Yeah, she got both her things. Oh, there we go. All right, we got Apollo Bay.
Yeah, we finna
in the building.
We finna let her lay it.
Yeah, we got some. He up here, Commission.
Okay,
go ahead.
You see it right there, JJ?
Yeah, it's coming up.
You see that, JJ?
Yeah.
This dude, this dude done went and created a whole website.
God damn.
Wrote his book. He attacking me. You know how the Arabs get on something? This boy done went and made a whole page. Look here. What's lost on Commission in the Moors is the key players in history.
Be the leader in history.
Hey, this man trying to promote his book by attacking me. Yeah. He don't want to try to attack me.
Yourself on the back, man. Let them build up a buzz and you clap back with
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, you know what to do.
Yeah, that's what I said. Look at that. He upset. He want to go against even Islam. And he's supposed to be a Muslim. That's how bad. Look at him. He talking about, look. On Titans TV, a Moorish science researcher and self-proclaimed Arabic teacher by the name of Commission attempted to advocate for his Sabian-inspired MST doctrine using Jim James' stolen legacy. This is crazy.
He's salty.
Look at that. Look at that. When you make somebody go and do that right there, this is when you really get your scholarship right here.
Right.
You got somebody, man, they done went and wrote 3-4 pages on you, bro.
Right. We got to go. Hey, we got to do a show on this right here. Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. Look at that. Yeah. This dude crazy, man. Yeah, he went in there trying to debunk my video. I ain't never talked to this dude. Now time,
what's his conclusion? Look at his conclusion, y'all.
He called himself and he called himself Maurice Hines.
Okay, I wonder if he on Facebook.
Look at that. The myth of Arabized Islam and other fellas. He fighting for the Arabs. He want to be like the Arabs. He done went and studied Arabic for like 3 years and think he knows something.
Right.
I ain't been in Islam for 6 years and want to challenge me to sell his book.
They ain't really.
I said it's crazy, man.
All right, go ahead.
That's why y'all.
Let's let the more adjudicated. Let's let him see what he got to say. Go ahead, brother.
Peace to the panel. You know what I'm saying? I just was you hold the phone for indigenous black man. You know, I wanted to see what he possibly, you know, because the scholarship is on the screen. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to see what possibly could he say about the stuff that's been shown.
I don't know. He said he teach hieroglyphs, and I mean, I understand you talk about scientific racism, but you ain't the first person in the world to talk about that, bro. Like I said, Commission ain't never met you, so you can't say he regurgitating your information. I mean, that's not a good look when you think everybody stole from you when you can't even get up here and do a presentation. I don't know what. So, did you call?
I think I had Indigenous Black Man come on my
I
channel a
need
couple
his
of times.
number, or just tell him to call. Don't he got my number?
He appreciate my phone help, bro. So he better figure it out. For real. Nah, bro. Last time he was up here, man. Nah, I wasn't feeling it. I went back and watched it. I talked to somebody about it, and you was out of pocket, bro. So you more welcome to come up here, but I'm not finna do the phone thing no more. Can't do it. Nope. So now he calling for you. You should have been sending him the number. Other than that, man, we gonna. Hey, you got anything to say, Morris? Did you watch any of the shows today? It was a long show.
Yeah. Oh no, I was watching that. I missed the debate, the prelim, but I watched Commission's breakdown.
Yeah.
He was killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, you remember we'll talk about that later. But these long shows mean a lot. You hear me?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, this definitely was somebody definitely could have learned from this show right here. I mean, stuff was getting broke down.
Right. Right.
That's what they said.
Oh, go ahead, Commissioner.
Go ahead, did you? No, I'm saying that's what everybody. Oh, go ahead.
No, I think it might be a delay. You go ahead, family.
I was saying that that show I did on Sonnet on Allah and Yahweh, I was trying to show them that we won. You know what I mean? And they need to stop it with this going back and forth. Especially when they don't fully know. They're just going off what they feel half of them. They ain't did it. They got to realize the time we up right now is 4:00. And JJ know I be up studying around this time. But I ain't just doing that now. I've been doing this for 30 years, bro. You know what I mean? And I don't say that to try to act like I'm, arrogant. I know nothing. I'm saying that if I ain't learned nothing studying 30 years every day, staying up this late right here, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna learn nothing if you don't go do reading. If you don't do no reading, bro, or studying, you just gonna regurgitate what somebody else gave you. With that, I stand down.
Yeah, hold up. No, ain't gonna be no behind show. You got the man up here right now. We want you to get up here, text. You know how to back chat a brother on Facebook. Send him your number. Now, I put his number in the private chat. Morris Educated. I want to see what he's gonna come up here and do. Hold up. Hold up. Because according to him, you just stole his scientific racism thoughts. You just stole his comedic teaching, hieroglyphics. God damn, man.
I done reached up in the ethers and snatched them out of his mind. Huh?
Right. Everybody hating on him and we scared to debate him. It's a new 10 debate policy to get in the ring for me from now on. You got at least have
I think they want to write a book, is what it is, brother. And I'm in the way. When I go to put my stuff out of there, they want to write about it, but they can't write about it because they ain't got my mind. You feel me? So now they want to say I stole from. Terrible. Yep. Look at this dude here, the one I just showed you on the screen, Maurice Hine. He done wrote a whole book. And he probably in the book. So when I'm done, he probably talking about me in the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Morris Judicator, here go his number in the private chat. Excuse me. Yeah, that's crazy. Somebody doing a whole thing, a whole book about you. That's crazy.
I created a website, put me in the page and everything.
Yeah. He got a whole team, or it's just like.
I believe he was clicked up with Reginald.
Who?
I believe that dude was clicked up with Reginald somehow, cause some of the language he was using. Yeah, when I read some of the stuff he was saying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we might
It's
say,
some Muslim dude.
Reggie was on here a couple of nights ago, Kamisha, so we might get you him to, since he, I was shocked. A lot of these dudes
Really ain't
know.
nothing to talk to about. He done admitted that my methodology is right.
Okay.
So, I left him alone after that. And then we was on there with Brother Walter Williams. We was on there with him. He was like, Brother Walter Williams, Commission says that hieratic is the original alphabet. And he said, Brother Walter Williams say it is. Hieratic and Demotic. That's the language of the Egyptians. It is.
I think I kind of remember that show.
Yeah. Then I say, Brother Walter Williams, may he rest in peace. I say, brother, I'm your successor. I said that to make Reginald mad. Everybody in the chat telling me, you can't appoint yourself as his. I was poking at him. You know what I mean? But I told him, I said, anytime ever you need me to whoop me behind, I say, I'm here to do it to him. Yeah, man, I love that shit right there, Brother Walter Williams. He got on Reggie. He said, Reggie, I'm not talking to you no more. That no more hieroglyphics. It's because your ego.
He was funny, wasn't he?
Yeah, Brother Walter Williams was sharp, man. Even at 90 years old, that man still was sharp, bro. So like literally, I am the one that coming behind him. You know what I mean? Because Seti and young Pharaoh couldn't prove what they were saying, but they were saying the same thing. I'm the only one that came behind our elder with primary source material. You feel me? And I ain't even presented all the other stuff I got that really blow them out the water. When they go look on my channel, man, I got so much stuff where I'm going at them and smash. All of them. You see how I exposed with Yahoo tonight? Yeah. Terrible.
Hey, hold up real quick. Kareem, I guess they just want to thank you for bringing Reggie over here. He ain't even knowing that, I've been doing Reggie for years.
We gotta let our sister get some rest too.
Well, that's right. I mean, come on, man. And we did. I put him on the comedic hot seat, and they just say you wasn't the first one to take Reggie nowhere. You wasn't the first one to write the alphabet. You wasn't the first one to blow out goddamn candles. You need to stop that, bro. It's irritating.
Well, Sister Karima, I want to thank you, sister, for again being patient.
Backstage, Kamisha. Hold up, look, Kamisha, hold on, don't leave out. I want to hear this. Hold up, Kamisha. I know you've been late. There you go. All right. Let's hear what you got. Morris J. I'm here tonight. See.
I'm about to call him right now.
Yeah, okay. That's all this three-way stuff.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Anytime. You already know.
Yeah, are you telling that to the indigenous black man? He want us. He said, you're welcome for Reggie coming over here.
No, I'm talking about commission.
Yeah, I'm talking about indigenous. Y'all welcome for Reggie coming over here too. Man, come on. You ain't told me you're welcome when I held the phone up for 8 hours while you're running your mouth, playing videos, getting the goddamn channel flag.
Sister Karima, what you think about that situation with Jawa up there talking about?
Man.
He gonna say it's a pseudo alphabet and then try to push back against me when I tell him that the methodology was flawed. Ain't that crazy?
It always like that. It always been like that.
I don't know what they be doing. Like, it be crazy.
They caught him plagiarizing. I mean, that's what they say. I don't know how true, but they were putting out that he plagiarized his book. I don't know, but
yeah, he probably used AI to write it.
No, AI wasn't even out back then.
They saying he plagiarized somebody else's stuff, literally.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Well,
so he promoted his book.
Garfield put his book in the cooking section, and it got bestseller. It was some little section where it wasn't really where they got a way they could put in a section to boost your book up, but really ain't. You know what I'm saying? It was a promote. I forget the video, but Garfield book was Fugazi. I mean, I guess we all criticize everybody's book when they come out. So I'm just telling what our people say when somebody put out a book. You know,
that's why I hadn't wrote until all my stuff was put up for peer review. You know, and like, a lot of these dudes been writing on a lot of this flawed material, and now they got to keep trying to push it, like Smash and Reggie. They can't stand down and say that hieroglyphics is wrong because it'll make their material, you know, go away. So they done put a lot at stake. See, I did all my research before I got out there using Champollion methodology. Yeah. You see, that's where I got a one up on them at. You know what I mean? So when I put my stuff out there, you know, I'm gonna have all the source material like you seen, like I gave you the preview of it, and they're gonna be able to go to exactly where it's at. There ain't gonna be no fallacy like Smash out there trying to talk about black being a bull and all this nonsense. Like, bro, like I said earlier, you can plant a seed in the ground in black soil, and it's gonna come out whatever that seed's supposed to be. You know, you plant that seed in the earth, it's gonna be an apple tree. When it ain't gonna be no black apple tree, it's an apple tree. The apple's coming out red, orange is coming out orange, bananas coming out yellow or green, and then they turn yellow. But nevertheless, you know, you think because we come from the mud, we got to be a black man.
Yeah. All right, Commissioner, we got the brother up here, man.
He done finally got in here?
Yeah.
Indigenous?
Yeah.
Where he at? I don't see it.
He on the phone. He on a three-way call or something.
On here. Open it up, Morris Judicator. Open your mic. Indigenous can't debate nobody with no with no technology like that right there, bro.
All right.
You can't be calling, bro. You can't be calling people out like that, bro. Knowing you ain't equipped, bro. I keep mine on my lap, bro. I keep mine on my lap. I ain't got the
That's a couple of meetings right there.
Yeah, like, bro, what you got going on over there, bro? You popping that stuff. You know what I mean, man? I done put a whole 100-round drum on this thing over here.
Talk about he here, then they talk about that. Come on, man. This is bad. How you gonna be calling folks out? Look, how you gonna call folks out? You can't even call them. Huh? You can't. Oh shit! You can't even call it. It's just that easy, bro. You push the button, you jump on. It's not that hard, man. I think you faking the funk, bro. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's been 3 years now, and we've been taking you to school, seeing you, buying your books about this, and you just ain't learning it. We're gonna have to hold you back another year, Indigenous.
Oh.
Hey, here we go. Here he is.
What he said? Watch
Cell
out,
phones
make
get cancer.
cell phones get cancer.
Yeah,
Move it from your hip.
He one of them goddamn. Yes, that movie was what's his name? He was what they call them people? Conspiracy theorists. But I think it was Mel Gibson. Anyway, we got him on the phone, y'all. Finally.
Indigenous black man just wants some attention, bro. He gonna cry when he get to the company.
Is that what you think, brother?
That's exactly what I think, brother.
You talking about? Hold up. Wait a minute. You talking about 5 years ago? I got presentations where I beat Uncle him up on scientific racism, made them change their theories and their nonsense 5 years ago. Got presentations too. Got presentations on the things that I talk about. And JJ's up here making us stuff. You know, he's playing Cat Williams Jr. right now. He's on joke time, but every time I come over here, I teach him something new. Every time I present on his channel. So I don't know why he's joking. And I wasn't talking about your teachings, brother. I appreciate you trying to put stuff out. Me and Sakina was having a conversation in the chat.
Nah, Chump, don't come over here gripping now. We seen what you said now.
Here we go. This is what he does. This is what he did to me when I brought Reggie over here. And when he wouldn't let me have a conversation with him, then he plays the victim and hangs up on me. Like I said, now that we ain't over on your channel that I'm blocked on. Hater.
You said you could be
like,
calling me a
you ain't on my level, JJ, on no shape or form. I've taught you every time I presented, either on Lions Den or your channel, something new that you didn't even know about. Don't play with me, son. Now, Commission, like I said, I was having a conversation with Sakina Raw because she said the Greeks, had the alphabet, and I said the Greeks got their alphabet from the Phoenicians, and I said hieroglyphs was a writing too. And this is during your presentation. And I was, and you did a good job, brother. I wasn't mocking you. But, I have brought out, I've been around, like I said. And when it comes to that chart you showed with the monkeys, Paul Linnaeus provided us with that.
That's right.
Anthropomorphic, okay? But anyway, I've done presentations on this shit for years. I taught Uncle about the Stellia Comos. Hold up, I taught Uncle about the Stellia Comos because him and Garfield in 2018 was saying, there wasn't no writings about the Hyksos War. I called in. I said, y'all ain't never heard about the Stellia Comos? Telling you about the war, and in the 18th dynasty, which you was just talking about, we talking about Akhmos, huh? And I said that was Joseph's time. I think that's around Joseph's time because, they had a famine and, a mass multitude of them got kicked out of Egypt. Similarities to the Bible. So I was trying to put things together. See, these are things that I've already presented. And when it comes to scientific racism, I can take you down the list, unlike most in this community. So, and then I also told them about Sesostris, the guy who split Nubia in half and called the lower half Kush with the K. Talking about that too. So like I said, every time I come around, I bring new information. So I don't know why JJ's playing with me, why he's acting like he's on my level. And just because I got to call in, look, I got the information. All right? So regardless of whether you want to put it out or help me put it out, whatever, regardless, God will provide. But, like I said, this ain't the first time. I get a little bit too big, my information gets a little bit too big, and then all of a sudden you want to jump in front of me and try to talk about me and then play the victim like I'm the one over here causing the problems, when I'm really the one over here teaching. Go ahead and say what you got to say.
Indigenous black man, let me ask you a question, brother. What school of thought you come from, brother?
I'm a follower of Christ. I don't like using the term Christian because it was given in Antioch by the Romans. It's a social construct, just like all these terms that we have, black, more, all these things that mean black. Let's see, what else? Neger, not Niger, Neger.
Well,
all these things that mean black,
I would have to correct you on
social constructs. Hold up, we take these social constructs that was given to us, and we live and die by them.
I would have to correct you though.
These terms were given to your people by your colonizers, as we fight and die for these terms.
Indigenous black man, I have to correct you on the more term though, brother. That's not a social construct. That's a nationality.
They call themselves. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
That's a nationality, brother. That name go all the way back to Kemet.
So is American. Like I asked JJ and everybody else, if America and Africa is names given and from colonizers, why call yourself either? But like I said, I think a little bit further ahead than most, because we can't understand. We can't put these things together. We can't start at the origins of the thing. Like my presentation this last time where I started at the origins of scientific racism, went from Linnaeus all the way down to Margaret Sanger. And so how it's still, and we're still under eugenics right now. But I don't expect don't understand it.
So you seen the Alpha 21 documentary. I hear you referencing the information in it.
Yeah, that's one of the I give them credit. I always give them credit, you know. And then Dr. Joyce DeGrasse, brother, with post-traumatic slave syndrome. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, you know, people of that nature. Yes, sir. I do that. I give them credit when I'm presenting. I show their videos because I'm tired of saying it. I've been saying it since 2018, brother. I've been saying the same message. I've been giving the same message since 2018 about how the government, your banks, railroads, you know, the Ivy League school, all of them have been making money off of slavery. And then after that, off of wicked science and, Rockefeller creating our public health system as we know it, and Ford creating our public school system as we know it. You know, these philanthropists, they were all eugenists, they were racist, and anti-Semitic, and they were the ones who was creating the world at the time. I mean, even with Woodrow Wilson, he was a eugenist. He wrote a book about how he loved the Klan. They was using his books. They was replacing their, real wisdom with the BS isms, with their books. They would burn down libraries and then replace them with their manuscripts, pushing eugenics. So yeah, I mean, you're right about the Ma'afa, brother. You're right. I do, and I played them in my presentation. And you know, I did use them, and see, that's the one thing that I do is give credit to where I get my information from and the people I get it from, instead of going right behind somebody after they do a presentation and regurgitating what they say, even down to their jokes.
And see what I do, brother.
Ain't nobody regurgitating you, bro. I'm tired of you saying that shit. So, all the people that you told, bro.
I showed you regurgitating. I showed you regurgitating me, man. Whatever, nigga. I showed you regurgitating my information.
Bro. Hey, bro, why you
ain't no bro. We ain't on JJ 7000 TV. I called up here to talk to Kamisha. I called up here to talk to you. You say,
go somewhere. Go, man.
You slow fucking asses, nigga. Ain't nobody called to talk to you.
He fucking up against it. Bro, you gotta go.
That's what he does. That's what he does. He tries to cut me off. I'm talking to Kamisha. I ain't talking to you.
You gotta go.
Ain't nobody talking to you,
get
nigga.
your stupid ass out of here, man. I'm tired of you.
You ain't working. I'm stupid, nigga. Like I said, every time I come over here, I teach you, nigga, with your whack ass.
Everybody tired of you doing that, man. Nobody want to hear
I'm a
your
joke, nigga. I will hurt your feelings. That's what I would do. I want to embarrass you in this motherfucker. And I have. Because every time I present, I bring something new. You regurgitating it,
bro. Bro, go. Bro, you messing up the show, man. Damn. Apollo,
damn, that's what you said about Reggie too. I was messing up the show. That's all you got. Is that all you got, nigga?
What's the show about?
What's the show about? You messing up the show. Play the victim. JJ's in distress. Somebody help JJ and hold his hand. Because this ignorant ass nigga don't know his hands off from a hole in the ground.
This will be the last time, man. Nobody fucking with you, man.
Yeah, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Like I said, my shit's gonna get out regardless. So
bye, man. Hey, more adjudicated. Get him out of here, man.
Is Lions Den your channel too?
Yeah, I'm Lions Den, nigga. Where your channel?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Now you regurgitating the guy.
I won't come over to this channel no more either because it's JJ's channel. I won't try to present no more because this is JJ's channel.
Get your dumb ass out of here, bro.
Why?
Get your dumb ass out of here,
That's what you see. This is what you try to do with Reggie.
Bro, what's the show about? What's the show about?
You mad because I'm talking to the brother?
What's the show about? Tell us.
You mad? Are you upset? Are you upset that I can prove the shit that I'm saying?
Regurgitate your information, sir. What's the show about? Is this about Charles Linnaeus or is this about comedic language? What's the show about?
Well, he showed a thing from Carl Linnaeus, nigga.
It don't matter, bro.
Like I said, you
every show is about Carl Linnaeus with you, bro.
And don't give nobody no credit. You could have said, oh, Jesus showed this stuff right here.
No credit, bro. I don't have to give you no credit.
No. He'll ask a joke and act like this is the first time he's seen it.
Hey, Karima, don't more educated, man. You gotta, bro, get him out of here, man. He's fucking up the show for real.
Like I said, I got the presentation. You ain't on my level. That's what your problem is, nigga. That's what your fucking problem is. You ain't on my level.
But nigga, you can't even get on the fucking stage. You weird motherfucker, show your face, bitch.
Even from the phone, I can whoop your ass, nigga. So it don't matter, and it don't take a whole debate. I ain't about debate. I'm about teaching. Because I'm teaching shit you don't know.
Show your face. Show your face, bitch, nigga. You can't. You can't get your dumb ass up here. See, you can't do this. Get your stupid ass up here. Get your dumb ass up here. Can you come up here? Okay, nigga. All right, go. Nigga, do you even work?
Hey, ho. What's going on, man? Hold on. I went to the kitchen for 2 minutes. I can't even make me a sandwich. What's going on, y'all? Damn.
Yeah, get your dumb nigga out of here. I'm like you do when you come mess up the show. Get your dumb. You gotta hang him up, bro. Get your dumb ass out of here. He's jealous, bro. He's jealous of everybody. Get your dumb ass out of here. More adjudicated.
Huh? Yo.
Bro, get this dumb Karima. What the fuck? Get this dumb nigga out of here. So y'all want to come mess this man build up. Y'all want to come mess up the show with James and to put this fool on here, bro. Get your dumb ass out of here, man. Don't you bring your stupid ass back, man.
Hey, yo, man. God damn.
Hold the phone for your stupid ass and everybody's stealing from you. You ain't taught us nothing, bro. Everybody had access to that information. He want to be. Kamisha ain't never met you in his life, and you want to come up here. Oh, he's regurgitating my information. Oh, look, that's my line. You got a serious problem, bro. Everybody in the community is regurgitating from you. Chief X, Unc, Cedric, JJ, Kamisha. Kamisha ain't never met you in his goddamn life. Come on, man. I apologize for that, man. But I knew he was gonna come up here and do it. This show was great. But here come this one. Everybody's stealing from him. In this community, who do y'all see hold the phone for this guy the most in this community? Me. You want to disrespect me because somebody else on here and you want to get all the attention? And like Kamisha said, you want attention, bro. Then you want to be disrespectful. You done, man. Like I said, don't ever call me to hold no goddamn phone. As far as I'm concerned, if I'm up here, you ain't coming up here with me. You see, nigga. Trying to put me and Kareem against each other. Nigga, that shit don't work.
I give honor to y'all on the platform, man, and this all love. But yeah, you already know, man. This information, like I say, I'm trying to bring the people together. We got a few people, and I don't even hate them. You know, it's just our people just got to get it together, man. In every aspect, you know what I mean? We got to do better on all levels. You know, we got to learn how to be able to sit in each other's presence and level up, so to speak.
Go ahead.
This all love, man. You know, we give honors to the platform. I want to give honors to the sister Karima and yourself, you know, for being up here on the front line for as long as y'all done been. Cause boy, it take some patience and time, boy, to deal with our people, you know. That's all we can say.
You see what I have to deal with, Commission? Hey, the weight always be on me because when shit don't go right for people. Man, come on, bro. Y'all gotta stop that. And then don't even honor it, bro. Like, bro, I'm holding the phone for you. I'm missing calls with my wife. I'm missing calls. I can't check my gambling stats. No, none of that, bro. Fooling with you. Missing calls from grandma. All that, bro. Because you up here playing. You ain't even putting a presentation together. You're playing videos, getting the channel flagged, and you don't care. Because we told you several times, bro. So you go to somebody else's channel and have them hold a goddamn phone for you. Or you can't go nowhere because you done burnt your bridge with everybody, bro. This is my home right here. Lions Den. That came out of the mind of my imagination. The whole concept of it, bro. Don't you ever try to get your dusty ass up here and try to take something away that I came up with and invited the team. But you're not finna steal that from me, nigga. Much that I fucking did for you, bro. Excuse my language, man. But you see, Commission, this is what I be talking about, bro. I knew he was gonna come up here and do this madness. I knew it. Just like he was trying to mess up the show when Reggie was up here. So Karima, Morris GK, you want to get the last word? Let me let Commission go and get up out of here, then I'm gonna say the final.
No doubt, no doubt. My fault for the little interruption. I thought it was going to go a whole other way, man. My fault, yo. But you know what I mean? Great show. Shout out to JJ and Karima for holding it down. Shout out to Commission for, putting that ill scholarship down. Shout out to Cedric and James. You know what I mean? For putting a presentation together. This is Morris Judicator. Hey, Commission, I'm gonna hit you up in your inbox, man. I got a couple things I wanted to run past you.
All is well, brother. No problem.
No doubt.
And want to say thank you to brother JJ and sister Karima. Yeah, no, I'll definitely be coming on again sooner than later. And we're going to keep putting this information because we got a whole lot to unpack. And that's basically what I'm on, trying to put it all out there,
Mm-hmm.
We got to keep getting this information out here to our people. And we got some grand drawing to bring on the manifest. That's all I got to say. Peace and love to the den. Shalom, Shabbat, Elahayim.
Peace. Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, like I say, man, that's what we doing, man. We bringing people up. We reaching out to some of the old school people that, we getting back to doing what we do. We ain't focusing on nobody else's platform. We don't even care. You want to come over here and present your information? We with that. But as far as me taking my talents to somebody else's platform, I'm not doing that no more. It's strictly building at home, where I know it's gonna be fair, even for the people that come on here. But what Indigenous pulled, that wasn't fair to the people out here listening. That wasn't fair for the whole entire demonstration. So I apologize for him to the audience and to the people that's gonna be watching this in the future. You see what I'm saying? But with that being said, like I say, stay tuned for that debate coming up with James Cassell and Cedric. Talking to Brother Chuck Morgan, he's gonna be coming through, and I got a couple other things lined up. So, like I say, we finna get this ball back on the road, and Commission, man, I sent you my number. I put it back in the private chat, or I can get it from Commission so we can work some other stuff out, man. Keep this ball rolling. That being said, Kareem, we can get us up out of here. Either end it or hit us up with one of them songs. And hey, we out. We've been on for 7 hours, 33 minutes.
Dang, it don't even seem like 7 hours. Even though I know I've been up.
Yeah.